First, this is the new update for OBS. I just updated it, so it might be a little finicky. Oh, right, we're gonna get rid of this. Hang on, all my stuff seems to have come through, so, you know, does that still works. Okay, so we can take notes. Okay, then we put down, where is it? Yep, get rid of that. We do not get rid of, okay, hang on. There we go. That centers me a little better. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. My name is Lee. Him vibes tonight. Your they is fine. I'm pretty chill about pronouns. Ooh, I'm not a woman. Just remember that. Although I did get an invite to a cousin's bridal shower, which is, I don't know, but she's awesome. He's marrying this amazing young woman, and she's really cool, and I love her. So of course I'm gonna, go to support her. If nothing else. And bring her a copy of I ended up accidentally bringing her a copy of something I wrote. It seems to be live okay. So now I just have to continually do the thing. Yes, I know, because Sig will get on my ass about it if I don't. Yeah, yep. Okay. So, because today is Sunday, on Sundays, I don't know if any of you watch the channel regularly, on Sundays what I usually do is something called Tales from Arcana, 5e race guide. It's not just a race guide, though. It has so much lore. They tied it all together, which I don't think they intended to. So when you, the guy who wrote it's called Matt Kniesel here. I'll bring it up on the screen real quick, and then, well, actually I have to open it up first. So, Matt Kniesel, he actually did put a pronunciation guide in. I found it. It was in the credits. Nervarden Rogue Trader. Nope, none of those. Downloads. Temporary. Oh, no, that's important, but not that important. Quick start. No. Oh. I think I've got to find it first. So, the idea, Tales of Arcana. I mean, guys, got PDF. Here we go. I found it when I was going through, so then I should be able to, yes, we got this. Ooh, it has a little red light, and then you know I'm live, which is kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. Handy dandy tool. Okay, Rogue Trader. Oh. Okay, let me, should be. Where's the Yeti mic? Mic? No. Let's turn this one up. Is it up? No, it's... Alright, hang on, we're having tech issues, yay! Okay, give me a minute, Okay, try that. Does that help? Can you hear me? Testing, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, testing. Can you hear me? So apparently I have 2 Yeti mic. I just have to figure out which one's the real one and which one's the fake one. And... Fudge. Okay, we are gonna try something radical. Fun time. Okay, we're taking, yes, we're taking you out, and we're taking you out, and we're putting you back in. Okay. Device, that one. Okay. Okay. Now, let's see if we can, how do you input capture? Bop that up a little? Does that help? Oh no, we should probably turn this one down, right? We want this one to go up. That's the one we want. 0 dec... Okay, hang on. This is 0 decibels, but it shows me All right. Fudging. Okay. Oh, no. Hang on. Okay, wait. Let me rename it. Boom, 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 boom. All right, this is fun. We are learning on the go. Okay, now, I might as well lock it. Now, okay, now, let's see if, oh, careful. This should go up here. All right, and now, because now we have the two of them, so you should be able to get at least something from a piece of shit mic that I got in the computer, right? Or is that not there? That's the tricky part, is because the mic... Sound settings. Here we go. We're going to try something. Okay, that's input. Test your microphone. Says stereo. Yep. Input device. Yes. Okay, we're trying something. A little radical. So, bear with me here. Yep. Okay. I'm not supposed to type anything during the scan while it's messing with it. Alright. Let's try. I'm going to let it scan and see if Microsoft finds anything wrong with it. In the meantime... it's not working, apparently. It's not working. I'm trying. I'm working on it. I swear. Oh! Wait! Sig, can you hear me? Sig, can you hear me? Oh, right, because I turned that on. Okay, try it now. That will do it. Okay. Excellent. Did the distortion stop? I tweaked the thingamabob. Did the distortion stop? Excellent. We are good to go. But at least we know there's nothing wrong. Always fun. Okay, let's do that then. Do this. Go away. Thank you. Okay. Okay! Whew. Sorry. Just a little whiny today. Oh, okay. Easy, kid. Easy. No. We can put you back here. Sorry, we can put the keyboard back where it belongs. So that I don't forget. We'll take that afterwards. Just gotta remember. Okay. Ooh, okay. Color me intrigued. I was looking at flights, and then I remembered that I was thinking, like, maybe I could fly in. It would be cheapest way to do it would be to fly in and bus back, or the cheapest and the most, because they have, the buses all leave early in the, like, if I had a flight, I'd have to leave at, like, 8, and I'd like to stay a little later than that. Of course, that's probably going to be my undoing. But, same as it was last year. Okay. Oh, I actually did write up Valdez Answers the Door, and then I only wrote half of it, and then I closed the app, and then I lost it. So, there's that. I mean, okay. Yeah, I got Jay on muted in the background. I got Discord muted. Okay, so now we found out that the mic works, which is good. It's always good to test these things because, I like to know if mic wasn't working. Okay, let's bop. I mean, I'm sure he would be eligible for unemployment if he wasn't. Sorry, a little bit of a dad joke. Okay, we're good. Okay. There we go. Ta-da! Come on, don't be like this. We got this. Okay, so. Oh. Why is it doing the thing? Thank you. Now. There we go. Now we got it to do a thing. Look respectable. Alright. No, it's just a little racy. That's all. That sucks. It's just a little racy. Racier than something I would willingly wear. On you, on the other hand, maybe you could get away with it. I do not know. It's not, like, inappropriate racy. It's just, I don't know. It does represent Elfheim well, though. I mean, the Sega's just... Wait a second. If Sega ends up with armor like that... No, if Yessa ends up with armor like that after she becomes Yessa, that means that she gets her groove back. She doesn't just, she gets her groove back. That is good to know. She gets to have... Yeah, I know, but... Yes, it didn't. When she was first forming into herself and started working at the brewery, she was, she realized that she lost all her muscle tone, that she couldn't... Exactly, but she got her groove back. She went back to fighting even though she had bigger boobs now. Like, she learned to grow into her new body and still be a badass, and that is good. She is awesome. She is powerful. She is cool. And, she learns to work out. She gets strong. She gets tough. She fights still. She is cool. Okay? It's good to know that she has her, that she gets her vibe back. Or a new vibe. A new groove, if you will. That's Kneasel. Or Kneisel? That's Matt, this guy. Oh, right. So, we're doing this. And we're doing, back to here. We're gonna distract. I'm gonna do the thing. There we go. I got distracted by Alfheim. Okay, lore. Okay, so, the lore. There's a lot of lore. Uh-huh. Alright. We got this. So. I was thinking. Okay, wait. There's Puppet. Ratton. Okay. Let's start with... We're gonna go with Mafia and Mage and Magical Girl and Malwell, and then we're gonna go over to Magical Girl and try to figure out what the deal with that was, because we started with Mafia last time. And I'm actually gonna... I don't have the DM hounding me to start the thingy early. I might start streaming earlier on Sundays, so I don't stream over Jay, but I don't want to stream over Kayla, so I have to, negotiate that. I might try Sunday afternoons. So next Sunday I will be, off having tea and pastries with, a consortium of lovely young women in my family, so that should be fun. And I get to meet, Michaela's parents and her people, so that's fun. Okay, I got a plan. We're gonna start with 280. We're gonna go to Magical Girl. We're gonna figure out Magical Girl, or we're gonna read about it. We're gonna. Alright, so there's Mafia, obviously. Mage. Oh, okay. Yep, so we got Mafia people who have weird, tingly senses when there's crime about, and when there's law enforcement, how to do it. And they have an established code of ethics, just not the law of the land. Magic is wasted in the hands of immortals. With death on the horizon, mortals will push forward in a way a god could not. Engvald the Wise, an archwizard. Oh, mages are... Oh, so they're basically sorcerers, which actually makes sense. I will post pictures of me. I will look gorgeous, alright? I have a dress that I haven't worn in ages that's, really cute, and, I'll get the dangly earrings. It'll be awesome. Demonic lineage on Arcana. Okay, so they did notice that it was sorcerers. So, Mages are human born with inherent ability to use magic. They have a secretive society that exists side by side with the rest of the world, well hidden buildings and schools obscured in most major cities. Sorcerers are also born with inherent magic, but that comes from demonic lineage on Arcana. Okay. So, female, male, they wear, fancy duds, because nothing suits... Okay, it is a known fact of the universe that anyone in a suit is just exponentially hotter, regardless of gender. Anyone, regardless of gender, is inherently hotter in a suit, except for someone like Henry Cavendish. There's a weird class. Like, if you put him in a suit, he looks kind of boring. You get him with, like, the Geralt outfit with, like, the dirt and the grime and the, like, open, and he's just like, okay. That is a specific subset. Okay. Mages are humans whose secret societies is parallel but hidden within human cities across the globe. They have fashions and names common to the regions where they live. Mages disguise their true nature, so many think they're only well-trained magic users. Only other secret races, such as vampires and Sasquatches, know about mages and deal with their society. A few mages look down on average human, but this attitude is discouraged. The Mage Authority is governing body of Mage Society and has jurisdiction over mages and their obscured buildings and villages. It has existed since ancient times, operating apart from other local governments while installing agents in them. Mages are even advised the ancient pharaoh Cleopatra. The authority operates out of Cadabra, an obscure city train that travels across Arcana. Since many Empire citizens fear those with inherent connection to magic, mages hide their true nature from the world. There's a push to reveal themselves, and some, like the sorcerer Vilemarsh, believe they should rule openly. Oh, I know where this one was ripped from. But you know what? Fitch didn't have bad ideas. There's no objection to it. Mages were created by Engvald the Wise, a Grigori, which assisted in defeating Vilgnar and the armies of Mordfor. He's guided mages in secret for centuries and currently poses as headmaster Mumblesnore of Frogsnort Academy. It was there that the evil Vilesmarch began his plan to conquer Mage Society. Okay. Let's see. Ability score increase. Intelligence increases by 2. Other ability score choice increases by 1s. Ages humans but can live as long as 140. Due their magical nature. Value law above the rest of the mortal world, though they don't wish to draw attention to themselves. Their law above the rest of the mortal world. Holding secrets of their hidden society above all else. Most mages are lawful good or lawful neutral. Unknown. In the past, those with magical nature were hunted and killed. Mages actively hide themselves in their territories within obscuration magic. Those born outside of their kind are often thought to be humans with a knack for magic. Mages are built like humans. Your size is medium. Your base walking speed is 30 feet. You have proficiency in the Arcana and sleight of hand skills, as well as a playing card set. You know light, minor illusion, and prestidigitation cantrips, along with one other cantrip of your choice. Intelligence is your spellcasting ability for them, and you need no material components for them. Select one first-level wizard spell. You can cast it once per day. If you are a wizard, you can forego this first-level spell to gain one extra first-level spell slot. Once you reach 3rd level, you can cast Pass Without a Trace once per day. Upon attaining 5th level, you can cast Invisibility once per day, but you can target only yourself. Intelligence is your casting modifier for these spells, and you need no material components for them. Okay. Speak, read, and write Common and Arcana. You choose one other language in which you have similar fluency. You can choose to play as a variant magical species through the following changes. Magebane. You are a human born with magical aptitude, chemically altered and trained since birth to fight and kill magic users and magical creatures that seek to harm mortals or their many kingdoms. Your eyes are those of a snake. Magebanes age as humans do, but rarely die of old age. Your intelligence score increases only by 1. You lack the wizardly obscuration trait, but you have dark vision as well as detect, quarry, and stalker's training traits from Stalker race in this book. You have resistance to force damage. And poison damage. Magebanes are legendary and often chaotic good, though rumors have spread that they are neutral or chaotic evil. Okay. You are a green-skinned human born with natural aptitude for magical skill. At 7th level, you can cast Fly once per day, but only on an inanimate object which you can ride as though it were a vehicle, such as the broom or staff. You have proficiency with it. Starting at 11th level, you regain the use of Fly spell each time you finish a short or long rest. So, short rest boon. Charisma is your spellcasting ability for these spells. You have running water vulnerability trade from vampire race in this book. Wickeds are rare, serving their demonic masters in secret, typically on mortal realms other than Genesis. Wickeds are often neutral evil. Okay. That's interesting. Fun stuff. I'm not so sure on mage, though, because here's the thing. If sorcerers exist, if magic is used by wizards, right? If wizards exist, then why are mages still in hiding? Okay, this is where we start taking notes. Ready? So, oh, yeah, I have to do the thing. So, this goes away. Oh, you have the notes, right? Because taking notes is an important factor in existence. Split, history of one shot, cold. Oh, yeah. I ended up going through all of my old notes and finding crazy cool stuff that I... Anyway, okay. 50-50. Or are they 50-50? That's another... Why do mages... in society... Because some human kingdoms, magic is a commonplace. Now, granted, there are probably human kingdoms where magic is still a thing, a problem, and that would, of course, the Empire, but they're definitely specified that there are magical societies. Therefore, it wouldn't make sense for mages in those societies to hide, right? Especially if there are other magic users. If there are other magic users working openly, can't they just work openly? Especially if there are sorcerers. Although, if it does come from demonic lineage, sorcerers might be kind of like a mistrusting thing. So they might want to distance themselves. But then the question becomes... Okay, hang on. This is where it gets tricky. Ready? And is it a dominant trait? Is it just in the Empire with the anti-magic user sentiment? Because I know a lot of parts of the Empire. Ooh! Yeah! Okay, this is good. This is very good. This is very good. Because now that you've installed Zoom, I can bring you on properly. Yes, exactly. No, this is good. This is good. So you come on. I couldn't watch the stream today. I could only catch it briefly. They did get the cookies though, and they liked them, so that's good. But what I meant to do was, now that you have Zoom, I can bring you on as A, bring you on as a guest, B, bring you both on as guests simultaneously, or C, get you and a bunch of other people and actually play. We might have to do that. We might have to make this happen. At some point. Sometime in April, maybe. This is good. Because when we tried it with Discord, it didn't work so well. So when I do it Zoom, it works better. And then when I do virtual GreyHawkCon, you could play in my game, because I'm going to run over Zoom, and stream. We're going to do... the Hardby Lesbians. I think I'm gonna do like a playtest prequel version at BlueBoxCon to test out the new injury scale stuff that I invented, the new physical harm condition theory I put together for it, and then we'll just grafting onto it. It's gonna be awesome. You're gonna love it. Oh, yes. So anti-magic sentiment. What else? Also Children with Human. What about Children with Mafia? Like, okay, I know I'm only thinking of it because they're right next to each other alphabetically, but hypothetically, where do the magic genes and the crime force genes combined? I mean, I could probably make that happen. So we'd put together the stats for the Smurf, right? So we just have to redo the Smurfs for 5e, right? And then put them in Brancalonia game, but like on a planet, so that there were occasional space battles. I mean, and then of course, you know, throw in. Okay, every game I do, they throw in all the gay romance. Sapphic love triangles make a really good plot device. They just do, okay? Like Cassie, freaking Cassie. So in the game I ran for Blue Box Con last year, it was a Pathfinder game. Cassie is one of my common NPCs. She gets kidnapped a lot, but that's because she actually figures out what's happening. She's really smart, high intelligence, low wisdom, pretty much low everything else too. High intelligence, high charisma, low wisdom, low strength, mad dex, and constitution. Not necessarily. I mean, gay Smurfs can exist. I mean, you'd think that a lot of the Smurfs would be gay. Because think about it. If they have any romantic or sexual attraction, only one of them ever, like, there might be some sort of weird, like, polyamorous thing going on with Smurfette, but the vast majority of them, I mean, she only has so much time she can dole out, you know, to her dozens of lovers, essentially, because, of course, if any significant number of them were straight, they'd all be going for Smurfette, right? And, of course, it would develop as polyamorous, because there's only one ever, and it's not going to be like a... In that kind of society, you can't... Monogamy is either extremely difficult, or the majority of them are gay. Which, could work, you know? That could be a vibe. Like, Smurfs are... inherently would probably be very gay. And that actually might... I mean, a lot of the gangbang Smurfs is mostly polyam, or gangbang usually, but, where they'll go for Smurfette. But actually, if you think about it, the Smurf porn, yes, there's Smurf porn, it's a thing, it's just, deal with it. Anyway, my point being, Smurfs are inherently gay, right? Because there's so many guys, there's not a lot of women, they probably pair up. Like loot mates, like pirates, like, I mean, they're probably gay. A lot of them are probably gay, and probably vibe well with other Smurfs. And they probably have, like, their little, or queer platonic relationships, where they're not really, like, in love, but they're closer than just friends. They have a unique, it's a thing, it's a unique phenomenon that exists. And, you know, it would be interesting to do a deep dive into Smurf society. Yeah. We're doing gay Smurfs. Yeah. I mean, okay, now I want to run gay Broncolorian Smurfs, and I'm still trying to figure out why that frick... It is very Smurfy. And we're... Oh, yeah. Although, Smurfs... world would be an ideal category for, candidate for adding Smurfs rather than Greyhawk, simply because they would be a realm. So the Smurfle lands would be a realm attached as like Wonderland or freaking any other Tantrum or any of the other with the Whimsy magic or any of the other weird pocket dimensions that hook onto the main thing. That might be why the Angels favor Genesis, which we've already established is like they're clearly playing favorites if unless the aliens only invaded Genesis. Like maybe the other ones developed life later, and no one came back to Genesis because of the firmament, so they were allowed to develop in relative peace because Genesis had this firmament. That might be a case. Okay, hang on. We gotta write this down. Hang on. Or, hang on. This is... Sorry, we're getting very distracted, but this is what this Arcana does. You know, it gets you all this... This is why I've been devoting Sundays to it, is because there's so much lore you can just, like, sink your... It's awesome. We're just gonna put children with humans, ? And we'll fix that later. That's... Okay. Because Arcana so the invaders didn't bother coming back. Like, it's like the Canada theory, right? Nobody invades Canada, not because Canada is a fearsome prospect, but because the United States is right there, and nobody wants to share a border with the United States. Like, I mean, it's not a great country to share a border with. And B, they know that the United States are on their ass like that. Canada doesn't need nukes because the U.S. has got nukes and we're sitting right here. It's the same theory of they're allowed to focus on other stuff besides their military because the U.S. is right here and nobody is gonna, they don't have any other land borders and they're freezing in the winter. Like, they don't need, that's the kind of, so that could have really, so they would have grown more powerful, which is why they formed an intergalactic society, which is the other ones, which is where the space elves kind of can straddle the border, because we proved that the firmament is not, you can get through with magic, because Cassiel, the angel, did when he invented the... There's also the question of the elves. That's a whole other separate question of like, how interfertile are the elves? And all that jazz. Whew. Okay. So we are just doing this. This is epic. Okay, hang on. Didn't bother... What did bother not do? Going back to the system. The system. And they never needed the firmament. That makes a little bit of sense. So, possible. Okay, so, it'd be interesting to play a Mafia, mage hybrid, because that would create, like, you'd be able to do magic and have the crime force. So you'd be, like, the ultimate at freaking getting around everything. Because you're just, like... You always know where the cops are. You are perfect at hiding. Like, you would just be the ultimate sneaky machine. Both mage and Mafia are human subspecies. Which, for sure is interesting, but... Okay. Alright. Alright, save. Okay, now, I'm going to move on from adventures may end up saving the world, but their quests always start with a personal desire for gold or loot. Superheroes start with a desire to protect others, though they may get gold or loot in the end. Cowl of Cape and Cowl. Magical girls are humans given the ability to transform into powerful female personas. They are charged with protecting the mortal plane from otherworldly evils. Each can conjure a familiar. While some personas are unique to certain individuals, others can be shared and passed down from one generation to the next. Magical girls draw their power from the knowing, the higher realm of imagination, and source of all magic. Interesting. The regular form of magical girl is a human of any gender, although all magical girls are female when transformed. This human form is often taller and more muscular than is typical. Each magical girl wears a stylized uniform or set of armor that reflects their personality. Their familiars wear similar outfits. Okay. Each magical girl has a distinct personality, though typically only those who are kind and inquisitive are given these powers. While in magical girl form, they have the same personality they did in human form, though some might be empowered to act differently. Magical girls are infrequent on the mortal plane, and people who interact with them can mistake them for demigods. Okay, magical girls. The knowing represents the best and worst of mortality. It can manifest evil beings when influenced by the intentions of those with negative thoughts and feelings, especially when they are influenced by Bairn, chaotic beings that feed off emotions. One of the most famed magical girls, Doria, spends her time finding and banishing Bairn to the void. Your charisma score increases by 2, intelligence by 1. Okay. Magical girls arise from adults. They can live as long as humans, but rarely survive past 30. So you start with an adult, and then... Alright. Protect the mortal plane against existential threats from the knowing. This puts them at odds with the laws of society. Most are chaotic good. Mythical. Magical girls usually rise once a generation, though. The emergence of one can usher in dozens more in the area. So as soon as one starts out, emerge from humans. Your size are medium. So you start out as a human, and then, boom, magical girl. Base walking speed is 30 feet. You can cast Find Familiar without material components, but your familiar form is unique and can't be changed. The familiar has a costume that fits its form and seems to match your outfit. Oh, the cat with the orange sweater. Sorry. Okay. You are humanoid, but you are considered to be an aberration when it is detrimental for you. Hi! That's okay. No worries. Wolf Pup, hello, welcome to our crazy vibe session. So, oh, goodness, no, I didn't put it up. I forgot to do the thing. So this is, these are just notes that I'm taking right now. What I am doing is this one, Magical Girls. So the whole thing is, yes, did the thing, Magical Girls. So Matt Caniso created this epic, intensive world where everything exists. Every trope from ever in fantasy, not like a lot of them you wouldn't expect. They all exist and coexist and merge in unique ways. And this one is Magical Girls. So how do Magical Girls exist in this world? Well, it's female personas that can arise in anyone, male or female. So I guess that's an interesting question of, hi! Welcome, Blue, hello! We're going over this epic version of Magical Girls in Tales of Arcana race guide. So that's fun. I don't know if you're the same Blue as the other Blue, but welcome nonetheless. All Blues are welcome. Might and Mercy. That's an interesting question. Or do you appear as a trans, like, if a trans woman manifested, would she discover her gender by manifesting that's an interesting thought, because it's this whole thing. Alright, have fun with the coffee break. We'll be here. So yes, but it's also, so one of the things about Tale of Arcanum is not only is it, I know you're you, but are you the same Blue? Well, okay. So you're not the same Blue who I was, in a D&D game with just earlier this afternoon, is what I meant to ask. Brand new Blue. New Blues are always fun. Alright, different Blue then. That's okay. Welcome, new Blue friend. Now, if that Blue ever comes in, we're gonna have a showdown of which who is the real Blue, and it's gonna be a whole hot mess. That should be fun. But yeah, my name is Lee. He and Vibes today. She or they is fine, though, because I'm pretty fluid. Indeed, you are the real Blue. Good to know. I have to tell the other Blue he's an imposter. Sorry. So anyway, Magical Girls. So there is a lot of lore. So what I'm doing is going through fun different ones and picking through the lore, asking questions, trying to supplement weird things, character ideas, just, vibing, sharing it with you guys. It's really fun. I backed it on Kickstarter and then realized that I didn't remember. I remember backing on Kickstarter, and I remember I got it. I back a lot of fun-sounding RPGs on Kickstarter. Yeah, I back a lot of really fun RPGs on Kickstarter, and this one was a 5e supplement. So we're just going through, talking about, what might. So magical girls are not a race in the sense of they're born. So I guess if they have kids, they're not magical girls, the same way that the others aren't. So that's an interesting take. Okay. Wait. Magical studies. Heritage, aberration. So you're humanoid, but you are considered to be an aberration when it's detrimental to you. Proficiency in Arcana skill. Calculate carrying capacity and the weight you can drag, push, and lift as if you were large. In this case, it actually makes sense, because it's not just some stupid, it's actual more bulkier muscles, not just a stupid, we can't be large, so we're just going to tone it down on, large light. The way they did with, Luxton and Goliath. It actually makes more sense in context than that. You can alter your form to appear as your normal human form. This appearance is unique to you and doesn't change. When you transform, your equipment merges into your human form, and your clothing becomes that of a particular person of that region. It is hard for others to discern the connection between this form and your magical girl form unless they have witnessed you transform. You can add your proficiency bonus to charisma deception checks you attempt to convince others you are not a magical girl. While in regular form, you lack best friends forever and mighty traits. That's your familiar. So you don't get the extra strength bonus when you're in regular human form, and you like the extra strength capacity, and you don't get cute pet familiar. And your familiar lacks its matching costume. Oh, hang on. Animal buddy, hang on. You can take the help action as a bonus action to aid another creature with an ability check. If you take the help action to distract a foe, you grant 2 allies advantage on their attack roll instead of 1. Ooh, cool. Okay, so you don't lose your familiar, the familiar loses their costume. Cool matching outfit. But yeah, you don't get to, be extra good at being friendship. Yeah, you don't get to be extra good at friendship in your normal form. Because magic girls, as we know, run off the power of friendship. While in regular form, a creature who casts Detect Good and Evil while able to see and within 30 feet of you can see a hazy version of your magical girl form overlaid on you in the space you occupy. When you return to your magical girl form, your body glows as if it was under the effect of a light cantrip, and you levitate 3 feet off the ground as your regular clothing changes into your magical girl outfit and your other equipment. Basically, you get a magical transformation sequence, because you can't be a magical girl without a cool magical transformation sequence. It's against the rules of the universe, obviously. Common and whimsy. The appearance of each magical girl varies wildly from the rest. You are encouraged to draw your character and their familiars so that other players can envision them as you do. Even though you can add cosmetic features while depicting your character, such as wings, claws, or extra arms, these features have no function in the game. Of course, you can work with your story master to have these features emulate traits from other races in the book. Good to know. So you look really cool. Which makes sense. You're a magical girl, obviously. I love one of the great things about this book is that they put the individual artist's name down here. So that's pretty cool. I think magical girls are cool. Okay, let's see. What's the next one? Because this is freaking malware. Okay. Personified female. Alright, that's the femme form. Although, if you're malware, do you even have gender? Or is it just Dave Melvin was trying to envision what, hired to draw two, so gave them very masculine, very feminine looking forms, but really they're genderless. Well, that's an interesting point. Let's see. Cyberspace represents a new technological future for the common folk of Genesis, but like most things, its control may fall into the hands of a select few. Frowny face. Marissa, errant tech head. Malware are the malevolent beings of cyberspace, directly opposed to the digigods, as demons and devils are opposed to angels. Just as digigods were once demons seeking to redeem themselves by caring for cyberspace, malware were once angels who entered the realm to combat the digigods and spoil their redemption. They corrupt cyberspace, hoping to see it fall. Okay, we need to go back to digigod. Okay, hang on. I need to go to the... We need to get... Yeah, well, okay, yeah, but it wouldn't be... It'd be an interesting... I'm sure that there's an interesting... Okay. Okay. We're good. Oh, yeah, so this is... 3/4 of Genesis. President Queen Cora from the island city of Melestra. The Empire strives to provide for its citizens and respect the myriad culture that exists within its fold. But bureaucracy and overexpansion cause increasing problems for its citizens. Hello, Gifted Gabby! Welcome to our Vibe Time. We're going over this epic Arcana. It's a capital of the planet Genesis, or a continent on the planet Genesis, I should say. The Empire covers 3/4 of it, and it's got all sorts of real issues with it. So, and there's a gajillion different races, and like every... it's epic. As the Empire heads into a burgeoning industrial age, corporations begin exploiting Empire laws that a corporate culture must be treated as though it were an indigenous one. Don't cancel our culture was their focus testing rallying cry. Despite this, the Empire is still seen as the world leader in many who live outside its borders. Here's a note. The geography of Genesis and Arcana is intentionally vague and ill-defined. While maps can be useful tools for some, establishing geography can limit the narrative and lore potential of future creative endeavors. Some expressions of fantasy and science fiction, like video games, require a defined location for the player to engage with the world. There will be vague descriptions of locations throughout this book, but you should feel free to customize Arcana to meet the designs of your campaign. Basically, they're, this is meant to be a campaign world, so the exactitudes are up for SM tweaking. But what I wanted to do was go to the table of contents and figure out what page digigods are on, so we can get the good start on this, so we can kind of get context for malware. I think anything that is... Okay, 108. Any creature that is sentient enough to be aware of interacting with surroundings can develop a gender. Alright, malform. Hardy Fowler. That's why. Oh, I like the femme form. They didn't give her, boobs. They made her look very feminine without, exaggerated boobs, which I really appreciate. Although, that is a whole other issue, because well, anyway, what was I going to try to do? Oh, yes, we soon found, after hundreds of tests, that what we thought were glitches were actually beings from another realm trying to communicate with us. Though what was troubling there was that their first message was, bow down. Digigods are deities native to cyberspace. Their domains are typical, okay, hang on. Let me go up to cyberspace and see if there's, because they have a lot of extra lore, a lot of extra lore. So why don't we go up? 108, right? So we'll go back. But I just want to check. Yeah, this is the first page. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because this is that open gaming license. Yep. Okay. So we're going through the lore. Tales of Arcana introduction. Matt Kneisel, apparently is how you pronounce his name. Ooh, author's notes. These notes appear throughout the book to help explain more details about the current subject. Some use real-world terms and examples to further explain the concept. Others contain additional lore facts about the world of Arcana. Cosmic forces. We got this. The will, the All-Father. There's a lot of cosmic forces. And Realm of Rot, the Knowing, Purgatory, Quantus, Celestial Realm of Science, Godlands, Heaven, Cyberspace. As technology advanced across Genesis, the realm of cyberspace grew and developed. Its properties and life forms are directly impacted by the use of technology on the mortal plane. Okay, well that that helps a little bit, I guess. But it just kind of exists, I guess. It is intensively complicated. Oh, the quickness is it was supposed to be a shortcut realm by the Romulan god Mercury to allow others to travel large distances in seconds. In the time since its creation, it has gained sentience. There are other metaphysical realms such as the Negaverse, Subspace, Underwear, Icroth, and the Great Beyond, but the realms listed above are the most likely to affect the mortal plane when unbalanced. Okay. Alright, we're gonna go back down to 108, and I realize that it's very choppy, but if I went over the entirety of Arcana lore every time I did an Arcana stream, because there's enough lore to fill 3 hours of every, If you have any questions, though, if any, I glossed over something that looked interesting, we can absolutely go back. It's meant, I was kind of trying to focus on, what's the word? My goal was to focus on the cyberspace vibe, because that was what was interesting, and that's kind of where we were. But if you think something else is more interesting, or want to, skip malware and figure out what the next race in M is, or go back to Magical Girls, or you have any, cool thoughts on that, absolutely tell me. Say hi in the chat. I really appreciate it. This is supposed to be a fun, informative stream, so, what information do you think is fun and informative? There we go. That's a little better. Or not, apparently, but... Well, there we go. That's a little better. Okay. Demigods are deities native to cyberspace. Their domains are typical of a digital environment, so one might embody the security in data, for example, instead of lightning or fire. Their domain... Oh, God. Deities, because domains, right? Domains, it's in deity domain. Alright. They command great power in their home realm, but are no more powerful than a typical mortal in other realms or planes of existence. Digigods were once fallen angels who traveled to cyberspace to atone for their sins, hoping to find redemption by serving the beings of the realm. Some have forgotten their original goals and become tyrants. Old habits die hard, as they say. Digigods can change their form when in cyberspace, but they lack the power on the mortal plane. They are the same size and shape as a typical human, standing around 5 or 6 feet tall, weighing between 100 and 200 pounds. Their skin colors may vary, etched with patterns that resemble circuit boards. Digigods are often confused with cyborgs, since mechanical components are integrated into their bodies and they are garbed in outlandish outfits. Their speech sounds like it is coming through a microphone and might be slightly distorted. Digigods can be difficult to work with, sometimes speaking to others as their subjects. They travel to Arcana to protect it from those who would try to abuse or exploit cyberspace. Many assume the realm of cyberspace came into being recently with the invention of highly advanced technology in places such as Tokyo and in Science City. In truth, it has existed since time began, but only now revealed to mortals. Huh. That's an interesting take on it. Digigods and their enemy malware have shaped cyberspace for generations. They refer to their realm as the system and central regions as the grid. They are wary of data breaches, rifts leading into other realms. Digigods rule from their home, the mainframe seat of the head of their pantheon motherboard. Programs, the mortal denizens of cyberspace, make a living sailing the internet or working in the data mines of Siberia. Arcana Technologies, the Tokyoto megacorp that first discovered cyberspace, has begun capturing, duplicating, and altering Digigods so that they appear with humiliating outfits, such as Slumber Party Beach Day themes, to sell as characters in their games. Ooh, that's fun. So they make clones. So essentially you clone a god to sell as a DLC character. That is freaking okay. That is intense. I wouldn't, clone a god to sell as a DLC, but capitalists, am I right? Sometimes that's just how it goes. Your intelligence and charisma each increased by 1. ageless adults. They seek redemption for their demonic origins. They wish to rule cyberspace as a peaceful utopia. They're lawful good. Lawful good can be dangerous, though. I know from experience. Lawful good can be dangerous, especially when tyrants are convinced they're doing the right thing. Yeah. The existence of cyberspace and the Digigod is still hidden from most mortals, so no one knows how many Digigods there might be. 40 feet. Movement speed, that's pretty clutch. Cryptocurrency. Advantage on any perception checks to notice you are being pickpocketed. You are humanoid, but when you are considered to be a fiend whenever it is detrimental to you, which means probably you can't walk on hallowed ground, which kind of could be annoying. You are humanoid, but your constructed nature gives you the following traits. Immune to disease and have resistance to poison damage. Also, you can add your proficiency bonus to saving throws against being poisoned. If you have proficiency in such a saving throw, your proficiency bonus is doubled against being poisoned. Do not need to eat, drink, or breathe. You do not need sleep and don't suffer the effects of exhaustion from lack of rest. And magic can't put you to sleep. You still need long rest, but you remain conscious and aware. You can communicate with high-tech machine capable of receiving such communications as if you had telepathy within a range of 100 feet. How the machine responds depends on its capabilities. Yeah. You're vibing with your average PC. They're not going to have much of a, you talk to a calculator, it's not going to be able to tell you much. Alright, nanomiracles. Light, message, mending, message, and thaumaturgy cantrip. Light, mending, message, and thaumaturgy cantrips. At 7th level, you can cast Wall of Fire once per day, except the fire appears pixelated. Intelligence is your spellcasting modifier. For those spells, you need no material components. You have proficiency in one skill or tool of your choice. You can speak, read, write Common, Code, and Infernal. Variant. You can choose to play as a variant digital species with the following changes. Program. You are the common mortal race of cyberspace and appear as human with blue or green skin and circuit board-like patterning on your skin. Programs age as humans and have similar lifespans. Instead of the normal Digigod ability score increases, any 2 different ability scores of your choice each increase by 1. So you get the non-variant human package. You lack cryptocurrency, heritage fiend, and nanomiracle traits. You gain 1 feat of your choice instead. Yeah, so basically a variant human package. You speak, read, and write only Common and Code. Programs are common in cyberspace, but would be unknown on the mortal plane, and are often lawful good. Okay, that's interesting. So now we go to malware. Let's go back down to, 280-ish? Magical, okay, malware. So, the reason I bring up malware is because now we have context for opening this up, you know what I mean? If they're made to oppose the Digigod, you gotta know what a Digigod is before you can understand. They're not made to, but malware are malevolent beings of cyberspace, directly opposed to Digigods as demons and devils are opposed to angels. Just as Digigods were once demons seeking to redeem themselves by caring for cyberspace, malware were once angels who entered the realm to combat the Digigods and spoil their redemption. They corrupt cyberspace hoping to see it fall. Malwares are humanoid in appearance. Malware are humanoid in appearance. So malware, the plural of malware is malware. Okay, makes sense. As gods of cyberspace, each has a unique form that reflects their malevolent nature. Some have human faces, while others might appear more monstrous or alien. They present in all sorts of colors, covered in exoskeletons of plastic or metallic plates. Some have semi-exposed internal organs, which can look like inner parts of a computer, or body parts that appear pixelated when they move too fast or take damage. Malware speak robotically or sound like computer-generated human voices, devoid of emotion and mispronouncing words in their calm delivery. Malware are filled with anger and jealousy. They hate demons and devils so much they are willing to become villains and destroy innocents simply to deny the demigods a chance at redemption. Of all the races on Genesis and its theosphere, malware are possibly the most isolated. On the mortal plane, they might hide their true nature and try to pass themselves off as androids or robots. Digigods call the mainframe their home, which is a similar in prestige to Asgard for the Aesir gods. Malware fight among themselves and rarely work together, but if they had a capital, it would be Uncanny Valley, a region of fragmented data that connects to the dark web, the hell of cyberspace. However, unlike hell, which confines many of its denizens, malware are free to move about cyberspace. Each focuses on destroying a specific infrastructure of the realm, recruiting programs to convert into viruses. The origin of the dark web is unknown. It is similar in construction to the ley web. It seems to be made of blight as a dark parody of the ley web, though it is unknown where the dark web leads. Some speculate the void, but that is conjecture. Anansi, the spider, is rumored to be investigating the dark web. Anansi. Anansi, he is a spider. Anansi, he is a man. Anansi, he is a clever one. Always has a plan, yeah. Always has a plan. Though ancient, cyberspace has only been known by those on the mortal plane for only a few decades. While scientists work to understand it, others such as the Dominion wish to conquer it. Ooh, alright. Let's see. Ability scores. Your charisma score increases by 2 and your intelligence score increases by 1. Ageless adults. Seek to destroy all changes the Digigods have made for redemption, and despite their celestial origins, they do what they can to prevent and destroy the natural order of cyberspace. They are chaotic evil. Unknown. The existence of cyberspace and malware is still hidden from most mortals. Okay. When on the mortal plane, malware have the same proportions as human. Your size is medium. Walking speed of 40 feet, same as Digigods. You have advantage on all perception checks to notice you're being pickpocketed, so cryptocurrency. Heritage Celestial. You're a humanoid, but if you're considered to be a Celestial, whenever it is detrimental to you. And can communicate with the high-tech machines with the communications if you had telepathy within a range of 100 feet. How the machine responds depends on its capabilities. Nano Curses. You know the Infestation and the Thaumaturgy cantrips, but Infestation cantrips deal psychic damage for you. Your charisma is spellcasting modifier for these cantrips, and you need no material components for them. You are a humanoid, but your constructed nature gives you the following traits. Immune to disease and have resistance to poison damage. You also add your proficiency bonus to saving throws against being poisoned. And if you have proficiency already, it's doubled. Do not need to eat, drink, or breathe. Not sleep. Do not suffer the effects of exhaustion. Can't put you to sleep during a long rest. You remain conscious and aware. You have proficiency in one skill from among deception, persuasion, or stealth. Yes. Social engineering of being tricksy. Common, celestial, and code. So, that's a whole interesting, thing, you know? So, here's the question. If cyberspace existed since... Was web inevitable? Here's the question. So, usually, when the internet was invented in our version of reality, right? It was created as a network of computers that would then share information. That's how it works. And it developed, because so many there were people behind the computers, it developed its own unique methodology of how information was shared, right? So it became a amalgamation of software running on various computers, and to be part of it, you need a server, and the server stores the information, right? That's how the internet works, basically. Any machine with capability to connect can draw on information on any other machine with capability to connect, except for data protocols, which can be breached. But essentially, it's just a shared calling back and forth of information, and any actual information is stored on, servers, large web host servers, form the bulk. But here's the fun thing. In this version of reality, where cyberspace exists as an independent entity that, was there from the beginning of time, did the internet just learn was just tapping into cyberspace? Like, instead of sending stuff back and forth to servers, was it just like, hey, now we can connect to this realm, and if I can connect and you can connect, we can communicate through it the way, right? That's the question, isn't it? Is the internet in Genesis, in Arcana, in Genesis, that's the planet. Arcana is the continent. Is it like since creation? Let me type this out. I'm taking notes on this. If anyone wants copies of the notes that I take during streams, you could just ask me if you want. I don't think we have many viewers anymore, but if you ever are curious about a thing and you're like, hey, so you did message. Oh, I'll put the Discord real quick. And I promise I will write up Majiggy What's It before the thing about proper words. I'll write up a little bit of story time. I'm putting up the invite to the Discord in case anyone wants to. But you can also send me a message on Twitch. Oh, they raided into Little Bones. Okay, that's cool. Hi. Cool stuff. If you want in on the Discord to hang out, do stuff, like, I have a new writing prompt up. I just put up on the Discord. We have a whole section on cities that I'm going to add to, and I encourage people to keep going back to the old writing prompts. I'm going to, we'll see if the other ones take off in the same way, but, we could just have a dedicated thing to talking about cities and stuff, like random ones, and if you had a good idea, you could message me and we could put it up. Like, I want it to be a cooler thing. Vibes. Okay, so we'll leave Little Bones up because muted because she's cool. Okay, but yeah, come join the Discord. That is where we all hang. I'm very active there, and server is a fun place. At the very least, you get the fun memes that I find on the internet and show. So, there's that. And know when I'm going live, so that's cool. Okay, but my point on that, which is... Actually, we talked about the Discord server. Oh, right. If you want copy of the notes, you don't have to, but it'd be cool if you, just if you're ever interested. I figured I should try doing more writing prompts than just the one. But what I wanted to write down, which I'm gonna find this one, that one. Okay, what I meant to do was ask if cyberspace existed since creation, instead of being a construction of humans. Does that mean? I think it does. That means the internet on Arcana or on Genesis, rather, is just tapping into the pre-existing system as as a way of sending information, messages back and forth, hosting sites, stuff like that. You could just put it in cyberspace. It becomes like a repository rather than building your own servers. You can just put it up in this realm, right? I think so. Alright. That's about the only one I have. So let's... Oh, right. I should always, always, always hit save. Because if you do not save your work, shenanigans ensue. Ooh, also, you have fun emotes, by the way. Wait, hang on a sec. Let me check one thing real quick. just wanted to double check that I am... Yes. Okay. Good. Now. Okay. Now that's good. Plan is... Oh, yes. So cyberspace. So, oh, yes. And I need to do the thing again. Voila. Malware. Okay. Let's see what's after malware. What the heck's Ooh, that's kind of cute. Aw. Demas Wigil. These are adorable. A drake is a smaller species of dragon. Due to their name, mandrakes are often thought to be human drake hybrids, but the species are actually called drakemen. Oh, man and drake, right. Oh, you're so cute. Sorry. During the Gem Wars, many soldiers allowed mandrakes to ride in their packs, which allowed the plant folk to restore them in battle as they were injured. Okay, now there's a freaking gem... I feel like the Gem War is a significant... Battleways. Okay. Wait, hang on. There was one other one we had to look up first. We'll go back to mandrakes in a minute, but... Grigori. Okay, let me see if Grigori are their own race or it's just a thing. Grigori. Evo, Gnome, Goblin, Gorm. Grigori, 210. Let's see what deal with Grigori is, because it was apparently Grigori who created mages, but the mages, they gave up paradise to work in secret for the greater good. I've been fortunate to work beside them, and even more privileged to call some of my friends. Aslam the Lion, Elder Navigator, were once angels. Oh, like Gandalf. Sorry. Oh, hang on. That actually makes some sense. Were once angels who gave up their wings and chose to leave heaven so they could walk the mortal plane, intent on protecting and developing mortal civilizations. Despite their original mission to simply monitor humans and other races, Grigori have integrated into societies, posing as wise elders. The rest of Arcana has been guided by Grigori. Grigori appear as humans in the late 70s or 80s, but are still athletic as those much younger. Practically all have white hair, though some may dye it to disguise their age. They wear clothing of learned humans, have lived long, and thus are wise and intelligent. Many look to them for answers, which they willingly provide in times of great strife. However, they don't know everything, and though they can feel pressure to predict authority even when they're out of their depth. This process of dissension has removed some of their celestial memories. The process of dissension has removed some of their celestial memories, but they are still distrustful of infernal beings. Angels have directly interfered with the mortal plane since their creation, but did not associate with humans. Some felt their kin were too hostile toward humanity. Instead of working within the confines of Archangel's rules, they decided to descend, giving up their wings and live among mortals. Each Grigori brought with them a spire, a tower from heaven, from which they study humanity and other mortals. First intended to observe from afar and intercede only in existential crises, but from an early age they had broken this oath and interacted with mortals. After the God Wars, when the Archangels were relegated to heaven, Grigori decided to take a more active role. Of note is Engvald the Wise, who fought the celestial Cassiel during the Essence War. Right, Cassiel was the one who broke through the firmament by getting a bunch of elves to, pull him through. And then he, because he was pissy off, he was the one who caused the flood. He got banished on the other side of the firmament after the flood, and then got a bunch of elves to help drag him back so he could try to take over humanity, and they turned on him, and, he gave some humans inherent magic, creating the first mages, and assisted in the feat of Vilgnar and the armors of Mortfor. Today he is known as Headmaster Frogsnort of the obscure mage school Dumbbell Sludge Academy. Other Grigori have performed important roles in Arcana's history. Nama was one of the first rare and endangered magical creatures. Alakazam founded the floating wizard city that bears his name, where he trains each generation's magical boy who transforms into a superhero by invoking his name. Right. Alakazam. Yes. Right. Cletus claimed to have invented time travel. Clarence helps adventurers reach their full potential. Marla identifies children with important destinies and trains them, often proposing as a caretaker, such as a teacher or nanny. Vittoria retained control over the Merkaba, a sentient, shape-shifting celestial vehicle, which uses to assist adventurers traveling to other realms. Huh. Ooh, Nicole Cardiff. That's a vibe. Okay, so you get wisdom score increases by 2, intelligence by 1. I think I might have found... Let me go back to we're going to go back to mages in a minute, because I think I might have found a typo in the book. Wisdom score increases by 2, intelligence by 1. All Grigori come to the mortal planes appearing as humans in their 60s and 70s. They are ageless. Wish to protect the mortal plane, having descended from heaven at great cost to aid mortal races, though they try not to get directly involved unless as a last resort. Lawful neutral. Legendary. Grigori keep them to themselves and usually get involved in mortal affairs only to prevent significant loss of life. Look like human, size is medium, speed is 30 feet. Proficiency in 2 intelligence-based skills. Performance singing skill. Proficiency in wisdom saving throws. You are humanoid, but are considered to be celestial whenever it is detrimental to you, obviously. Magic tricks. Prestidigitation cantrip. Intelligence is your spellcasting modifier. And you can write Common, Arcana, and Celestial. Depending on your travels, you might also speak, read, and write Dwarvish, Elvish, Fey, Gnomish, or Gob. So you might know other languages. The Asen were the first human civilization. At the apex of the society, they were threatened by infernal forces. Several Asen stood up to that evil and defeated. As a reward, the Allfather, God with a capital G, elevated them to gods with his power, omniscience, the ability to decree, and the power to alter creation. Many gods and other worldly beings were unaware that the Allfather and his power existed. They learned of ascension, which would elevate a mortal body to godhood. Vilgnar was an archangel who gave up his wings to become a Grigori, knowing that he could achieve godly power only in a mortal vessel by means of a ritual. As a Grigori, Vilgnar established his power in the Middle Arc region called Mortfor. For centuries, he plotted creating the elemental mastery crowns, such as the Necrown that would one day corrupt Tarith of Draven to murder his people. His schemes were stopped by a coalition of humans, dwarves, elves, and vampiress Lexandra, who founded the Empire after their victory. Many fear Vilgnar's presence still lingers around Mortfor. Other worldly beings still wish to ascend, such as Necronus, the dragon Psychon of death, and Zeus, the Olympian god who manifested his immortal avatar and prolonged his life by becoming a vampire. Interesting. So, that, alter creation. Okay, so, those are griffins. Okay, but, I think the flaw I thought I found, which, let's see, Headmaster Frogsnort of the Obscured Mage Guild, Dumbbell Sludge Academy. Then we go to mages, hang on, which is what, 280, right? Ish. That was Magical Girl, Mage, no, Mage. Oh yeah, and currently poses as Headmaster Mumblesnore of Frogsnot Academy. Interesting. So they did screw that up. That's okay. It's okay to find typos and things, but an inconsistency, rather, in the lore. Interesting. Professor, huh? Okay. Malware, Mandrake. Oh, right. So we went to Mandrake, but then we went to Grigori to see what the deal with that was. And then so we're coming full circle. We're doing all of these, which I think is pretty cool. You know, because this is how, the way this is constructed is the different lore bits are centered throughout. So mages were made by Good to know. Mandrakes. Forest-dwelling root beings created to guard ancient trees who often leave their forest for adventures. They are sought out for their healing abilities as they sleep under the bed of the afflicted. Mandrakes are short, squat beings growing only around 3 feet tall. Each mandrake body appears as a plump root with short arms and legs. Leaves can grow from their bodies to emulate hair or clothing and resemble foliage native to their home region. Mandrakes are fairly chill, although they enjoy festivals and socializing with others. They have to angle their entire body upwards to speak to taller beings, so they prefer those who are the same height. They get along well with most races, however, many work as merchants and have a history of passive-aggressive conflicts with Incogouts. Ooh, drama. Sorry. Always love drama. Common in forest regions, though many travel throughout Arcana. They can even be found in harsh environments, including the frozen north, core and volcano cities, and any of the diverse underbiomes of the dark below. They dig out small grottos to sleep in at night and conduct business on the surface. Adventurers often find these abandoned grottos on their quest, discovering items mandrakes left behind. Mandrakes who don't travel are generally farmers who raise sapling creatures in their woodland villages. Due to their inherent healing properties, many serve as clerics and alchemists. Mandrakes are created by the tree aspects to protect them when they manifest on the mortal plane. One of the most powerful aspects, known as the greatest oak tree, is the patron protector of the species. The largest settlement of mandrakes at his base is in the difficult to travel blustery woods. Is at his base in the difficult to travel blustery woods. Okay. These mandrakes are prepared to protect their aspect, growing weapons and crafting shields and armor from nutshells. However, they've never seen battle and can easily be defeated by any real threat. Drake men instead of mandrake. Okay. Constitution increases by 2, wisdom by 1. Can become animate creature after 2 years of growth. Mandrakes can remain animate for years, but sleep their life away like a normal plant for several centuries. But most sleep their life away like a normal plant for several centuries. If Mandrake remained animate for its entire life, its lifespan would be comparable to a human's. Mandrakes are neutral good. Doing the right thing seemed like the easiest choice for them. Rare. Animate mandrakes are unusual, but sleeping ones are far more common. Mandrake is about 3 feet tall, 35 pounds, size is small. Only 25 feet, because of the stumpy little legs. When you fall, you can slow your fall to 60 feet per round, taking no damage from falling. For every 10 feet you fall, you can move 5 feet horizontally. Each foot you move horizontally this way counts as a foot of movement. When you are present among creatures taking a short rest, those who remain within 30 feet of you recover an additional 1d4 hit points per hit die they expend. If you are present during a long rest, creatures within 30 feet of you gain 3/4 of their hit dice instead of half. Oh, I doubt the mandrakes would go for pizza. But I would be happy to share. I'm sure they would, they wouldn't be pigs about it. They would, they'd only take a slice or two. Although I'm not sure they eat pizza. I mean, they seem more of a vegetable type vibe. When you are present among... Oh, yes. If you are present during a long rest, with creatures within 30 feet of you, gain 3/4 of their hit dice instead of half. Creature can go either benefit to remove a disease or poisoned condition from itself, but to do so during a short rest, the creature must expend at least 1 hit die. Oh, so if you have a poisoned condition, all you need to do is expend a hit die and have a mandrake sit next to you while you hang out for an hour. Seems like a vibe. Heritage is plant. You're humanoid, but when you are considered a plant when it is detrimental for you. Also probably, over the course of 1 minute, during which you are restrained, you can plant yourself in the earth and sleep. Being asleep this way is like being petrified, except you age at a rate 10 times slower than normal. Waking up takes you 1 minute. You can remain asleep for as long as you wish. Spit seeds. You can launch seeds from your mouth as if using a sling. You don't need ammunition for this natural weapon, and you have proficiency with it. Ranged natural weapon. Okay, that is cool. That is freaking cool. I mean, it probably doesn't do much damage, but having a natural ranged weapon is clutch, okay? They're adorable. Look at the pudgy little cutie pies. Like, come on. Common and Sylvan. Variant. Ooh, variant. You are a yokai spirit that resembles a mandrake wearing a giant leaf as a mask. Kodoma. You lack float trait, so you can't fly. But you have heritage celestial trait from other races in the book. You have the speak with trees trait from Aboro race in this book, and obscuration rate from the Satwatch race in the book. You can speak, read, and write Common, Sylvan, and the Yokami dialect of Ethereal. Kodama are rare, hiding their communities from mortals, but once they've revealed themselves to mortal, they seem common. Often neutral. Huh. Interesting. It's an interesting variant. Okay. Indirects are cool. Just a vibe. Okay. Manitos. Ooh, okay. Hardy Fowler drew them. Alright, let's see. I don't recall creating a race in my image, but it wouldn't surprise me. Dionysus throws one hell of a party. Manitos, god of earth and reality. Manitos are a demonic race of reptilian humanoids who can shoot pressurized blood from their tiered... Okay. They're cool metal. Aeson god Manitos, who can be seen on page 494. Ooh, there's like a whole... Hang on. Before we go here, let's go to page 400. Let's go to, like, the... Notable NPCs. Cool. Blizzards, fog, hail, hurricanes, rain, sandstorms, snow, storms, and tornadoes occur in appropriate biomes. The sky is blue but can appear different colors in different regions. Aurora lights are common in the north. Arcanado. Magical purple twister that can serve as a portal to another realm and alter existing magic. It rains or snows blood. When rains and animal or objects such as frogs, cats, dogs, forks, scissors, or petals. The ambient sound of laughing children, thought to be connected to Fae, glow, otherworldly colors that light up the night. Haunting. When a myriad of ghosts manifest and wail. Musical. Those caught in this phenomenon dance and sing in sync without prior practice. Omen. So what, you have musicals the same way you have rain? That actually makes a lot of sense, actually, given the nature of... It'd be like, Buffy, when they had, the singing demon show up in Sunnydale. And everyone danced themselves to death. But they also, like, performed musical numbers. And it was cool, okay? I don't know if you've seen the Buffy, Once More with Feeling. That's the one. The vibe. Ooh, bunny-eared rhinos called rabbits. Surge. When gravity ceases and magic becomes volatile. Always in effect in some regions. Other natural disasters can befall Arcana such as droughts, earthquakes, floods, and volcanic eruptions. Natural objects, including meteors, can pass through firmament and crash. Good to know. Oh, right. So notable NPCs. Manitos, okay. Glitch the Fabled. Fourth Wall Breaker. Ooh. Fabled, a story nymph who is metaphysically connected to a role-playing campaign the same way a dryad would be to a tree. That is fun. You're just back in time to hear about Glitch the Fabled, who can break the fourth wall, apparently. So, that's pretty cool. She acts as a conduit from Genesis to the real world during a game session. She can get overly excited and help players, which is forbidden. Your campaign may have a different fabled. Okay, if you want to get really meta. So a metagaming pigeon, basically, but in a cutesy fairy form. Then we got Manatos, god of earth and reality. Knows he's not real and resents players, though he may assist them if he amuses them. Okay. Okay. Alright, oh, so they had a card game thing that they had. Okay, cool. In this epic action shot by Miguel Regadon Harkness, a group of adventurers stand in the floating plains of Andrakesh as the skyship Imperative soars above. I think that's that one up there. They are clockwise starting on the left. Kira Hart, let's see, the left. That's Kira Hart, the Vashni Ranger. Alawan, the Android Cleric. Be this guy in the middle here. Toulon, the Trueborn, the Autumn Paladin. I think he's the one in the back. Widget, the Furbold Warlock. That's up here. Hugo, the Puppet Barbarian. Yes, up with the kilt and the boots. Okay. Leela, the Storyteller Wizard. She's the blue one with the ears. Sweet Tooth, the Kobold Bard. And Davin, the Ikari Rogue. Okay, that makes sense. So this one, the Ranger, with the one with the bow, and then the Rogue with the horns. Okay, that makes sense. What else? Everything ends and that's okay. And afterward. Oh yeah, and this is the back cover version. And copyright. Open game license. Okay, so yeah, these two are... Okay, so we have to go back all the way to 280... I want to say? Mandrake, okay. Manatos, who created Manatos the race. Okay, Manatos the god who can break the fourth wall. Apparently created Manatos the race. I don't recall creating a race in my image, but it wouldn't surprise me. Dionysus throws one hell of a party. Known as gods and have a metaphysical connection to their patron deity. They can switch between being warm and cold. Ooh. Switch between being warm and cold-blooded. Average humanoid size and shape. Orange scales, but a rare few have dark green, red, or white scales. Lack hair, but bone spikes emerge from their faces, notably from the forehead, around eye sockets, and along the chin. The appearance of these horns differ in individuals. Some each has red eyes and claws growing out of each heel. Survivors who easily adapt to dangerous situations. Manatos are regarded with mistrust, and some go so far as to hide their true form with glamours. As a mortal race, Manatos also distrust infernals. So they're vaguely demon-y, but they don't... Unlike other races whose origins are shrouded in legend and myth, Manatos are well aware of their creation at the hands of the god Manatos, who apparently birthed them after drinking contests with the Olympian god Dionysus millennia ago. Since then, the namesake has done little to help them, so they're more likely to worship other gods, even Dionysus, for his part in their creation. Manatos is known across Genesis, but few are devoted to him. Even though his appearance is well known, his race is still thought of to be infernal heritage. In some cases, they are seen as working directly for Manatos, so they are easy scapegoats for followers of rival gods. Thus, Manatos have been forced to constantly move from place to place. Even though Manatos is not directly involved in their lives, his people use their connection to him to gain advantage in the face of adversity. They are the only race capable of finding Menistorium, an orange man with tiny white nose that evokes Manatos' image. Even when others mine in the area, only Manitos happen on Manitosium. This mineral can be used to craft weapons and armor that give their users preternatural luck. Ooh. Ivala, a Manitos adventurer, was able to infiltrate Manitos' realm, capital M, where the god kept his coin, a powerful relic capable of manipulating probability. She now controls it, but Manitos has yet to discover this fact. Ivala wishes to free her people from persecution and their connection to Manitos, who she and others believe is unworthy of their kind. Manitos is aware he is not real, which has caused him to shrink his divine responsibilities. He is prone to break the fourth wall to torment. I have a whole mug of... It's almost empty. My whole mug is almost empty because I've been drinking... It's water. It's not like coffee or anything. It's water and miwari, which is kind of a like a squash, I think is the technical term. It's a tasty British drink. You cut it with water so that it it's like sugar syrup, but you cut with water to like make juice, kind of. It's tasty. Yes, I know hydration is important. Tuesdays I have to hyperhydrate because I do plasma donation, so I've been, right before you have to drink a whole gallon of water the day before, so I've been so I do try to keep conscious of hydration. Ages humans living about as long as they do. Unlike the chaotic god that created them, most Manitos are neutral. Huh. While the bulk of their population lives in warm areas, Manitos travel across the world and are welcomed as though they were messengers of Manitos, though few claim this. He is prone to break the fourth wall to torment players in the real world. He recently secured a licensing deal with Wheatley Bread Company to produce Mani Toast, erotic bread that depicts him suggestively posed when toasted. Okay, wow. Okay, sorry. That's just dim light. Within 60 feet of you as if it were bright light, and darkness within the same range as if it were dim light. Absent even dim light, the vision is monochromatic. As a reaction, you can squirt blood from your eyes at a creature you can see up to 30 feet away from you. Make an ranged attack roll if you hit the target is frightened until the end of your next turn. Okay, can you catch freaking, plague from the bloodshot? That's an important question. Triple the amount of time you can go without food. You add your proficiency bonus to any saving throws to avoid exhaustion. If you have proficiency in such a saving throw, your proficiency bonus is doubled to avoid exhaustion. Heritage Fiend, you're humanoid, but considered to be a fiend whenever it is detrimental to you. Sense Fate, you can cast Augury as a ritual without material components. You have a chance to You have a chance of a random reading with Augury only when asking about the same subject. So usually what Augury happens is that you, when you cast it without the material component, because you have to have some sort of valuable majiggy to cast Augury. I remember because when I created a cleric, I went and bought all my spell components because I was in roleplay, because I was super excited about roleplay, and she had hers made from the loot they found for their first adventure. But her little triangle and circle square things that anyway, Sanskrit. Scale speech. Those of contact with God Manitos learn to speak and read and write Celestial. Okay. So the way Augury works usually is when you cast it twice in a same period of time. Actually, you know what we can do? Let's do a little educational tour. Augury 5e. Okay. By casting gem inlaid sticks, rolling dragon bones, laying out ornate cards, or employing some other divining tool, you receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. The DM chooses from the following possible omens. Wheel, good results. Woe, bad results. Wheel and woe, good and bad mix. Nothing for results that aren't especially good or bad. The spell doesn't take into account any possible circumstances that might change the outcome, such as the casting of additional spells or the loss or gain of a companion. If you cast the spell 2 or more times before completing your next long rest, there is a cumulative 25% chance for each casting after the first that you get a random reading. And the DM makes the roll in secret, so for the second one, it's a 25% chance it's just random. But it could still be right, because, random chance is that. On the third one, it's a 50-50 shot whether it's actually any good or not. At the... that's the third one. The fourth one's a 75% shot that it's just nonsense. And the fifth one is just automatically wrong. Or automatically random. Not necessarily wrong. It has to be worth at least 25 gold pieces, the material component. Right. Oh, but that's what let's see. So with Manitos, the race, random reading only when asking about the same subject. When you reach 5th level, you can cast the Augury spell normally once per day. Also cast Augury normally once per day. Starting at 7th level, you can cast Divination as a ritual once per day. Okay, so as a ritual without material components, so you can cast it, if you have the material components, you can cast it as a quick action and not just, you don't have to sit down and do the whole, you get one quick cast a day, and when you reach 5th level, but before then you have to cast as a ritual, which takes however many minutes. Is it? Hang on. Instantaneous. So it takes 10 minutes, basically. But you can do it quickly. Handsomest God in Creation, Manitos. You cast Divination as a ritual once per day at 7th level. You can cast it. When you do roll a d20, on a nat 20, you will not only receive an in-world answer, but you can also negotiate with the SM to gain bizarre insight based on what you, as a player, know about the situation. Wisdom is your spellcasting modifier for these spells, and you need no material components to cast them. Divination. So what... Alright. Divination. Your magic is... and an offering put you in contact with a god or god's servants. You may ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. A sacrificial offering appropriate to your religion, together worth at least 25 gold pieces, which the spell consumes. The GM offers a truthful reply. The reply might be a short phrase, cryptic rhyme, or an omen. The spell doesn't take into account any possible circumstances that might change the outcome. If the spell, cast the spell 2 more times before finishing your next long rest, there's a cumulative 25% chance for each casting of the first that you get a random reading, and the GM makes in secret. Right, so you can cast, let's see. So you can basically just ask him a question once per day, and if you roll and roll a nat 20, you can negotiate with the DM to get extra benefits, because, Summon and Sanskrit. You might learn to speak, read, and write scale speech. Those who have contact with the god Manitos would learn to speak, read, and write celestial. Okay. It's interesting. The question about Manitos, which... Manitos are cool, by the way. Like, so, can you catch diseases? Like, can you catch... Because blood is not only terrifying, which, believe me, it is also, like, it's terrifying because it's, like, really, really unsanitary. Like, you can catch... touching other people's blood is the number one way to not, like, to just catch ugly disease. It is not healthy at all. There are so many pathogens. It is just bad. I used to work in a hospital. It is bad mojo to touch other people's blood. Like, it is, you get so sick. It's just not something you do. Like, but the question is, can you catch it from Manitos blood? Can you catch diseases from Manitos blood? From a Manitos blood attack. That's an interesting question, because also, like, okay, are they mammals? So do they lay eggs? 'Cause that's curious. Manitos. What, and if a Manitos were to be raised away from others of their kind, how would they... That would be an interesting story. That would be an interesting story idea, like how do you discover you have a divine connection? That could be fun. Okay. Oh, what? Wow. Okay. So yeah, Manitos are cool. I'm just gonna keep going in alphabetical order. I think would be a wise move. Unless... I mean, Drakeman. Aspect. Is Aspect... I'm gonna check something real quick. Is Aspect a race thing, or is Aspect a... Hang on. Preface, terminology... Writing is a good idea. I definitely encourage you to go write. Snag, it's a paper. Whatever you come up with, just do it. I'm gonna I have to write or apply for SIG. I've been doing a role play. Ooh, we could do that. I've been writing a role play story on SIG's Discord. And so that's a whole thing. But what I wanted to think was metaphysical realms. Genesis, Arcana, magic and technology, alignment, rarity. Okay, so Ethera, this is the first. Amazon, there we go. Anansi. Of all the powers, Anansi is the most prolific with pacts, but hardest to contact. I'd love to make a deal with the spider, but I'm going to spend my life trying to find him. Where story? And humans who have been blessed by the otherworldly being of the same name. Okay, interesting. God... or Wild Lord, but he is known to be a powerful patron connected to spiders. Always fun. I actually spent... Really recently went back over the world of Buffett, which was actually named for Jimmy Buffett in World, which was for NaNoWriMo one year. I basically set out to create the entire history of this one planet, which and then did a lot of like high interpersonal level stuff of the first Civil War and the refugee crisis and stuff. For sure. All right. They basically look like regular people. Just, they have cool spider tats and are both black, but I don't think android. Angel. We got animatronic. Oh, okay. Animate toy. We got an Arachnitar. Dark elves with the lower body of a giant spider. So driders, basically. Arboreal, which are tree. Aragok. Okay. autumn, which are like car robots and androids people can get used to since they are made by our hands. But what about the mechanicals we didn't build who aren't even from our realm? Carfolk, hulking mechanical beings from the realm of Autogon. Okay. Avian, Asmodian. Ooh, refusing to pick sides during the rebellion. Behemoth. Okay, so, basically Aspect is not a race. Let me go back up and see if it's under the list of dead. Is there a list of... Let me check the table of contents. Cosmic Forces. Alright, 9. Preface. Terminology. Cosmic Forces. The real world. Okay. The Will, Elder Navigators, Old One, Gods, Titans, Eternals. Aspects are not listed. Loa, spiritual beings of various power, usually proceeding over domains such as animal, everyday life, and death. Olden Ones. Voices in the Void. Nightmare Warlords. Okay. Lead the spawn of the Old Ones. Rumors to be claim the Void is their kingdom. Baron are powerful beasts from the Void that feed on essence. They bring with them all the sins of the world. The Will connects Elder Navigators, mortal people traveling in various realms who gain power until they are stronger than the entire pantheons. Modern Navigators can no longer obtain this kind of power by decree. But if you got your power before, they can't take it away, so... Okay, that's an interesting question. Is immortality part of the Elder Navigators, or do they have to find... okay, that's another question. Is immortality... Right. Or, oh. Alright. Cool. I'm just trying to figure out an aspect or, Orishas. If there was a thing on aspects or whether it's just kind of a vague... I guess not. Spirit Plane, Shadow Realms, Tantrum, Nanoverse, Equinox, Fairy, Fiction, Cyberspace, Dreamlands. Not part of the knowing. Okay. So there's Dream, Nightmare, and Fiction, and then the Dreamlands, which are separate from the Essence Core. Conescape, Engines of Reality, which was kind of like a failed startup, created by the Titans. Then you got the Gem Realm, which is part of the Earthscape, which is Waterscape, Windscape, Firescape, Quantus. Then you got Cyberspace, Equinox, Fairy, Gaia, Realm of Rot, Viscera. Spirit Plane, Nirvana. You got the Astral Plane that overlap with the Mortal Realm. You got Purple World, Purgatory, Shadow Realm, Godlands, Heaven, Hell, and Void. And then Tantrum off to the side here. Wow. Okay. That's the basic that. Okay, so let me... Sorry, I got distracted from that. What I meant to do was... alignments, rarity... Oh, I went to check aspects. Hang on. We were... Okay, let's go to 286. We're going Manitos, and then... Ooh. Okay. Wow, that is a, interesting. Okay, we're gonna go with that, too. But then I went to... Up... here, and then aspect was a freaking an actual race, which wasn't. I think that's how it went. I got sucked down rabbit holes of the linked lore for Arcana and then I mentioned Elf Navigators, and then I was like, oh, actually. But it was the question of, Alright. I think... Alright, it's 10:30. That means I've been streaming for 2 hours. And I'm crashing. So... hang on. Manitos. Let me see. Okay, there's Manitos. And then we got Manos. It is impossible to understand the world without looking beyond other realms. Just as we seek to understand our place in the world, so do others we have yet to meet. Yeah, this is a mandrake. Maybe. Alright, let's see if I can't do it. Alright. I'm going to take... Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch to this screen. I'm going to go and refill my water mug. I will be back in 1 minute or 2. Just hang tight. I'm back. Alright, why don't we go for at least another half hour, and then we'll see how we feel. How about that? Because I'm feeling a little better. I do have to go to bed at some point, because I'd have the first stream tomorrow morning. Also, I need to go to the grocery store and before work. But, let's do it. Always hit save. Okay, these are mandrakes. They are adorable. Okay. Now we get these. Bizarre arachnosaur-like being covered in hands supported by oversized fingers for legs. They're able to understand the fate of others by reading palms, so they can use different body parts if their subject lacks hands. Huh. It is impossible to understand our world without looking beyond to other realms. Just as we seek to understand our place in the world, so too do others we have yet to meet. Prospero, sorcerer and Duke of Venezi. Manos have human-like torso with 8 to 10 large finger legs emerge radially. So you got this kind of vibe for the masculine form. Huh. Fleshlands are among the more bizarre biomes found in Arcana, mostly in the Forsaken Lands. They thought to have occurred where colossals died. The landscape is a layer of skin with blood rivers and forests with gigantic hair follicles. Giant bones crop up like mountains, and nodes of teeth grow haphazardly. Here, blood rigs drill for God's blood, a unique substance formed by millennia of pressurization. Hardened sanguine deposits can also be found here. Okay. Manos have human-like torsos from which 8 to 10 large finger legs emerge radially. Additional hands grow from their bodies, their numbers and placement depending on individual, though many have a set of hands around the upper torso sprouting from the sides of the head. Fingers grow on their head to emulate hair. Manos have the same diversity in skin color as humans. They have opulent taste and enjoy wearing jewelry on their hands, painting, and grooming their nails. Which they have a lot of those, so I guess that's the whole thing. Manos are calm and serene. Their appearance make people uncomfortable, but over time they see them as less of a body of horrors and more as body wonders. Though native to Horrorland, they are not friendly with Throton or... Okay. Scaries. Okay. Hand and liver. Manos originated from Horrorland, mortal realm designed to psychologically torture ill-mannered children. Unlike its original denizens, Manos try to help these children escape and return to Genesis. Okay. While some Manos remain there, others have found their way to Arcana. The largest community of Manos can be found in the Fleshlands of the Forsaken Land region. Okay, so they're not native to the Fleshlands. They just end up there. Okay. They've built the city of Manulos on a kneeling colossal, a massive being the size of a mountain that died with outstretched hands. Okay, yeah, thematically appropriate. Each hand holds its own section of the city, but rarely communicate with each other. Each export of Manulos is nail polish, which is made from the same ink used in Hexcorp icon tattoos, and can grant a variety of magical... The question is, if magic nail polish... Oh, wow. Okay. Here's the question. You ready? I'm going to write it down, and then... This is where it gets interesting. Boom. If magic nail polish can grant magical abilities, do you need to paint all your nails? And if not, can you have more... And if you're a Manos, Manos or other creature, because there were other creatures that have more than one set of hands. And if you're a houlihan, I believe it is, does it work on your hooves? Like, does it have to be fingernails, or can you paint it on other stuff, or a horn if you're a sentient... What can you paint it on different... Or will any keratin, and if you are a Manos, or other member with, and if you do need to paint with more than the standard 2 sets of hand, two hands. One set of 2 hands each. Do you need to paint all of them? Or just 2 hands? Does it make a difference which hands? Does it make a difference which hands? And can you have Or is it that you can only going at once, no matter how many So you would paint all 10 just so they match. But if you only painted one, it would still work, but you couldn't do like 3 on a different type. It would just be whatever you had the most of on. Then that becomes the question, and does it work if applied to hooves or other keratin protrusions? And we're applied to hooves and does that change if you're a satyr, for example, do you have to paint your nails, or can you do the hooves? And if is it like a thing where if you're a houlihan it will work on the hooves, but if you're a satyr you have to do your nails because you actually have nails, but if you don't have nails the hooves will work? Is it like that? I feel like there's a lot of questions with that. Okay, sorry, magic nail polish. A lot of questions on magic nail polish. Okay. All right. Thotan or Scaries. Another notable Manos settlement is Palm Springs, found in Evan Province, which is a retirement community for elderly adventurers. The Manos help the residents in their final years. They also run spas here, so adventurers who still quest also travel to Palm Springs to relax. Manos masseurs are known for their relaxing services, dancing on the back of their clients. Okay. Okay, flesh hands. Let's see. Dexterity and core increases by 2. Constitution increases by 1. Ages humans reaching adulthood in their 20s. They live to just under 200 years. Okay. So, a little longer than humans. Followers of the invisible hand of fate. Manos were meant to guide the mortal plane subtly and benevolently, and are neutral good. Mythical. Manos are typically only seen in paintings depicting the works of the invisible hand of fate. Encountering one would be unexpected and possibly life-changing. Except if you go to Palm Springs. Then they're common, but... Manos stand as tall as a centaur, around 7 feet, but way less, around 400 pounds. Size is medium, but on the big side of medium. Walking speed's 35 feet. Having the extra legs does help. A good grip. You can add your proficiency bonus to checks and saving throws against being grappled, shoved, knocked prone. If you have proficiency in such check or saving throw, your proficiency bonus is doubled for these purposes. You use only 5 feet of movement to stand up from prone, and you crawl at full speed. Moving through difficult terrain caused only by debris or low obstacles, the ground costs you no extra movement. You are humanoid, but considered to be celestial. One is detrimental, because, of course, jumper. You can jump twice as far as the... You can use a bonus action to take the help action and aid another creature with an ability check. If you take the help action to distract a foe, you can get 2 allies advantage on the attack rolls instead of 1. Help action is a bonus action. Gotta love it. Once you reach 7th level, you can cast Divination without material components, and you can target another being, provided you are able to see the palm of that creature's hand or a similar appendage. You can regain the ability to cast Divination each time you finish a long rest. So once per day, at 7th level, you can just kind of look at someone's hand and kind of know the vibe. Speak, read, and write. Common, Arcana, and Celestial. Also know sign language. Makes sense. Edwin Sabila. That's intensive. Okay. Does that mean that the tips of their fingers get really calloused because they're always walking on them? And if you had long nails, and they, can you do acrylics on your feet, or do they get in the way of movement? Trimmed like this, it wouldn't be so much of a thing, but like that, would those get in the way of movement? Or would they act like claws? But usually claws are at the end of toes, not at the end of feet. And definitely, and claws make hardwood a nightmare, as many dogs have discovered over the years. I want to check, though. Thotan and Scaries. Okay, Thotan. Let's go down. Boom, boom, boom. Pirate. Ooh, whoa, Puka. Ooh. Porg. Oh, wow, there's a Pikachu. Oh, wow, okay. And then there's Puppet and Sock. Okay. Okay, there are some really interesting ones. We're going down there eventually, but right now what I want to do is go to the list. The list of races, like the Boo Invader. Ooh. Okay, so 404. Hang on. We're going to go 238. I just want to check something from Invaders. And then 404 afterward. When it comes to world conquest, there are many variables, but opposing us would be akin to multiplying by 0. Brilzigax, Mega Prime, Cephalus of the Invaders. Alien visitors stranded long ago on this world. Despite the setback, they still dream of planetary conquest. Though they have lived on Arcana for thousands of years, they still don't consider it home. They're highly intelligent with outsized brains, but are physically weak despite having crystal bones. Must remain in their atmospheric suits to breathe. Okay, here's where... Does that mean when new ones are born, can they be born? Like, can they breed in Arcana? And if so, how long do they survive without the suits? That's the question. Same proportions as human children, and with larger heads due to the oversized brains. They have thin bodies, their suits make them appear bulkier. They have pure black eyes and green skin. Well, that's an interesting question. Hang on. Well, first we're going to read about them, then we're going to... Questions at the end. Then... Okay. Okay. We have some information on the invaders. So they're not from in-system, probably. Made with advanced alien technology, so stand out in a crowd even among Arcana's weirder races. They may wear other clothing over their suits. Invaders have alien-sounding names such as Grimblacks, Terran, or Chrysis. Older invaders look down on other races, believing them to be superior technologically and culturally. Themselves to be superior technologically and culturally. Younger invaders do not have these prejudices. Both find the use of magic silly, since science can create the same effect. Regardless, they are analytical when encountering any situation. Invaders work well with other scientific races, such as Zanari and Yanzas, and are fascinated by mechanicals, such as androids and robots. Alright. Twins planets Estros. Okay, which were developed by unknown forces. Destroyed by... Oh, Estros. Okay, so... Which, okay, so Estros... together, or is it just... Okay, let's do this. Hang on. Oh, I didn't even... friggin... Okay, hang on. I am so sorry. That's the... I don't know when I took that down. Hang on. I think Hi! Welcome back. The question is... So it says the twin planet, right? But they list one name for the supposedly twin planets. So the question is just... hang on, let me read what it says, and then we'll say that. Estros, seeking to establish a new homeworld, they attempted to invade Genesis during the Sky War. Though defeated, the invaders' survivors were allowed to remain. They established advanced outpost cities in harsh territories, accessible only used by the use of their flying saucers. Over millennia, their technology has continued to advance, and now invaders use laser weapons, computers, and holograms. Boop. Hi. That's true. Shenanigans. They have magic nail polish, though. That is an interesting question. Can the Hulans wear it on their hooves? And does it work? Like, there's so much question with magic nail polish. Payne Gob followed them. Through space to Genesis, the invader, formerly called Estrazians, have rejected both. Today they are devoted to science and math, as though they were gods, directing any worship to Quantus, the higher realm of science. Ooh. No, you made a Velda's render, because you have it in the thing, the render of him with G, where she got to pick the outfit because he had to look fancy for the render, and she rejected whatever outfit he had to choose one for her. I remember this. He has the bad puppy collar and the shirt and black pants with his abs showing, because abs. Hang on. Though invaders isolate themselves from other Arcanans, some have become taken with the phrenology pseudoscience, which preaches the superiority of those with excellent cranial structure. Ooh, okay. I want to see it when it's done. But through insular societies, which are intolerant toward other cultures, some invaders learn the ways of other races. For example, invaders were recently inducted as paladins of the Spellblade Order. Their society depreciates magic use as demeaning, but more and more invaders are learning to be wizards, arguing that understanding magic will help with scientific research. Blood Elves are high elves who became vampires to increase their power despite already being immortal. To live outside their suits, some invaders have blood elves turn them into vampires. They become bloodthirsty chupacabra who desire blood of goats and satyr over all others. Okay. Okay. Intelligence score increases by 2, Dex and Wisdom by 1 each. Age like humans, but live about 130 years. Believe they are technologically superior to other species, and these aliens behave with commensurate arrogance. However, they value pragmatism and structured thinking. Awful neutral. Rare. Numbers are few and they keep to themselves. 4 feet tall, 60 pounds, small. Tall for a small creature, but 25 feet. See in dim light of 60 feet as if it were bright light, and darkness within the same range as if it were dim light. Abs to even dim light. Vision is monochromatic. You add your proficiency bonus to any intelligence, history and investigation, and wisdom perception checks regarding technology and unusual devices, including traps. If you have proficiency in the aforementioned skill, proficiency bonus is doubled for these purposes. You have proficiency in one intelligence-based skill or medicine skill, and with 2 tools. You are immune to disease and have resistance to poison damage. Also, you can add your proficiency bonus to saving throws against being poisoned. If you have proficiency in... you just can't train a goat these days. It'll end up in your Facebook page. Public note, what you did to that goat, you will have the authorities at your throat. You just can't drain a goat these days. Sorry. You'll be in trouble in so many ways. I don't know how to do that one. Confuse a Billy or a nanny with a tasty sack of candy, and you'll have the local papers in a rage. There you go. I actually memorized the whole thing. Even the verses. I've been practicing. My plan was to create a video of it. That hasn't happened yet, but give it time. If you unseal your armor, you don't get the poison resistance, though. Seal their armor to filter the atmosphere on Arcana, because although they can breathe the air, they need a different mix of gases to function at peak efficiency. You know how to seal your armor and can do so to a new set within 1 hour of work and Tinker's tools, which you have proficiency. By wearing unsealed armor in a normal Arcana atmosphere, after an hour you gain 1 level of exhaustion that cannot be removed until the proper atmosphere again. If you take a critical hit, you must succeed a dexterity saving throw, or your armor becomes unsealed until repaired. Sealed armor gives you advantage on saving throws against the SM's choice of non-magical gas effect, base effects, and other non-magical airborne effects. Telepathy within a range of 60 feet. Common, alien, and 1 other language. Most have also proficiency with Fey and Gob. Okay. So the question then becomes, is Estros one planet? Estros. Okay, also, who destroyed Estros? Have, not Hab. Okay. So, they have been, since the Blood War was millennia ago, they've created outpost colonies on Genesis because no one thought to kick them out. The question then becomes, were there outposts, are there Asian outposts on other planets in the system? That's the question, isn't it? And if their home was destroyed, where were there other groups sent out because here's the thing. So the angels sealed Genesis, right? That's how it went after the invaders fought, right? The invaders were allowed to stay on the sealed Genesis because they didn't have a home to go back to other planets. Right? Because we know other planets in the system. So if Estros was out of system, right, and there are other planets in the system, did they just send the one planet to invade Genesis? If every planet in the whole system is habitable, why did they invade Genesis? I mean, I guess in Genesis was the most habitable because they probably noticed that there were others living there and figured that was a good sign for habitability, which, okay, yes, it was, but still, you know, that's fair. They could have picked any of them. Why was there more than one ship, and they just decided to take Genesis as the staging ground and then got stopped by the angels? Like, if all the other planets are habitable, how did that factor into the invasion? And were there other groups that sent to invade other habitable planets in other systems? Because clearly they can go faster than light if they came from another system. And did those on Genesis have contact with them? That's the big one. Oh, but what I meant to do was go here. Thotan. Everything the propagandists think is true of the Devilkin, that we are sadistic and cruel, is in fact true of the Thotan. are the children of cosmic deities who have become fantastically and grotesquely cruel. They rule the realm of Horrorland and punish children as they believe to be naughty or impolite. They say they want to teach people lessons, but mental scars of those lessons surely outweigh any benefit. They can sing and breathe music through their throat gills. Traumacidal nobles. Thoten appear as humans with horns, which can be any color. Several gills along the neck allow them to sing. They can present as any human ethnicity with... Harkness again. He's really good. Ooh. Natural hair colors that are atypical for humans, such as pink, blue, or green. Though Horrorland looks like a junkyard, Thoten consider themselves nobles wearing rich clothing and acting in a manner befitting their high station. Thoten love music and might begin singing as they speak. For larger musical numbers, their gills can serve as backup chorus. Thoten would not think themselves cruel. They believe they fulfill an important purpose, benevolent lords and ladies who help improve mortal children. Thoten have experience with other Horrorland races, such as Scaries and Manos. Beings who protect children, such as animate toys, imaginary friends, and lost children, do what they can to stop Thoten. Are on cordial terms with Seelie and the fairy courts. Interesting. I kind of want to look at all the other ones too, but hang on. Horrorland is a realm that seems the stuff of nightmares, with twisted metal spires, plants growing veins and arteries instead of roots, and forests of funhouse mirrors. Thoten control their own territories using metallurgy to alter the appearance and function of their lands. Oh, metallurgy as opposed to metal as in metal. Okay, cool. They use scaries to locate spoiled and bratty children on the mortal plane, gathering intelligence to mold their territory specifically, especially for a particular child, and force them to confront their problems. In some cases, Thoten put several children in a scenario together they must work to escape. Star Thoten are a rare, enigmatic cosmic entity from beyond the solar system said to sing stars into existence. Thoten are their children if these stories are to be believed. Chulala is a spiral wizard whose human host was tormented by a Thoten and never recovered. Her mission is to destroy Horrorland. Though rare, it is possible for one to imprint on an object, imbuing it with part of their personality and giving it properties that seem like magic. Even rarer is the ability to intentionally imprint on an object. This practice is called metallurgy, as the object has been meddled with, although it has also been called quirking. Many Thoten practice as metallurgists. Some mortals are naturally born as seekers, who can sense and locate imprinted and metalled objects. Every subsequent child born to a seeker has greater seeker power. After 7 generations, the 7th seeker is said to have the ability to undo imprinting or meddling, return an object to normal. Much of Horrorland is meddled, so Thoten destroys seekers to prevent such a birth. Intelligence score is 2, your charisma score is 1. Little is known about the Thoten. Many are coy with those seeking answers, but are most likely unsure of their origins or their parent pantheon. All Thotens encountered are adults, and based on historical studies, seemingly immortal. Alternatively, time in Horrorland is out of sync with other realms. Thoten live to visit horror and pain on others as part of a game whose rules are known only to them. They are lawful evil. Unknown, Thoten are a secretive species and not found outside of Horrorland except to snatch children for their play. Built much like humans, your size is medium. Walking space is 30 feet, resistance to piercing and slashing damage, because you're a masochist. Life of the party. You can speak through your gills and affect others when doing so. You have proficiency in persuasion and performance singing. Sense insecurities. You attempt to beguile a target humanoid that you can see with a range of 60 feet. Your target must succeed at a wisdom saving throw, DC 8 plus your charisma modifier plus your proficiency bonus, or be charmed for up to 1 minute or until your concentration is broken. While the target is charmed, you have a telepathic link with it, as long as the two of you are on the same plane of existence. You can use this telepathic link to learn the target's greatest fears and insecurities. These are conveyed to you in a series of cryptic and poetic images that you might not fully understand. You can breathe air and water. You need not breathe if you can hear music. Traumacidal. You enjoy causing pain and discomfort with your words. You know the vicious mockery cantrip. Charisma is your spellcasting ability for it. Speak common, astral, and guttural. Okay. Okay, spiral. Let me check something real quick. Because I want to figure out... Okay, so we got scalies. Oh, wow. Okay. This is interesting. So... Alright, so we got Photons and Horrorland. And then we have... Scaries and Manos. Okay, Scaries are... Let me... Ooh... Warlord of Barsoon. The Red Moon of Genesis. Oh, okay. Hang on. Okay, hang on. We need to check a few species on the list of species. Bear with me here, because this is getting interesting. Ready? Invaders. Here. Ooh. Okay. Alright, we're going to put a peg in that for a sec. Spiral and then Scary. Okay, so 386 and 388. No, 368. Yeah, 368 and 388. 368. Yeah, 368. They have so much potential. With a stern but forceful hand, they could easily become a force that could be Ravager Kana, Mistress, Thoden of Horrorland. Scaries are gnome-sized monsters with bizarre appearances native to the realm of Horrorland, a chaotic realm devoted to punishing bratty children. Scaries, sometimes referred to as the Scay, transform into inanimate objects while retaining their own physical properties. For example, if a furred scaly were to return into a stapler, it would still be covered by fur and have physical attributes such as eyes and teeth. So they're kind of like mimics. Each Scary has a unique appearance, and they adapt a variety of shapes and sizes. They might be covered in fur, scales, or both. Most are humanoid, some squat, and others stand. They can have any color or patterning similar to bed and closet monsters, as well as bizarre features such as spider-like hair, exposed tendons, or multiple eyes. They have high-pitched voices that might make animal-like growls. Scaries have gross-sounding and childish names such as Puke Gut, Grimdark, Fear Fart, or Clump. Are tricksters but hate making others mad at them, so they play pranks only up to a point. They are familiar to other Horrorland races such as Thoten and Manos, and would be known on the mortal plane to be two monsters, Fatulence and Imps. Horrorland is a dismal realm, a wasteland of abandoned theme parks and worn-down ruins. Scaries live in nooks and crannies throughout the realm, which is dominated by Thoten, who lead the Scaries in their territories. And they torment and monitor the children brought to Horrorland. They also travel to the mortal plane via the realm of Slight, as do bed and closet monsters. Scaries who have left Horrorland live in the Empire City of Squalor, a decaying ruin whose local council forbids intervening against the ravages of time. Ooh. Though Scaries have traditional births, some believe that the first males were created by combining snakes, snails, and puppy dog tails, while the first females were created with sugar, spice, and nothing nice. The only holiday they celebrate is Halloween. At the center of the Sinner Sea in the Empire are the Clot Islands, home to the city of Boogersburg. Sinner Sea in the Empire. Okay. Well, the buildings in Boogersburg are gigantic, immobile Scaries. These buildings are covered in fur or scales, where the rooms like the insides of an animal, but shaped like bedrooms or kitchens. Instead of windows, they have giant eyes. To enter, one scratches the door in the scaly building, which would actually be its mouth. Despite gross implications of living in such a place, there are fine accommodations once you get used to the sound and smell. They are also rent-controlled and rarely eat their tenants. Constitution score and your charisma increased by 1 each. Emerging from a vomit pool, Scaries remain infants until fed sugar by a mortal child. They are ageless, but most only last about 20 years due to random accidents. Though they appear chaotic evil, Scaries hope to use fear to teach lessons to children on the brink of evil. Though they might seem a form of warped altruism, most Scalies are considered lawful evil. Are native to Horrorland and travel to the mortal planes only under a specific set of guidelines to scare children. Though Scaries have unique appearances, most stand just below the height of gnomes and weigh about 40 pounds. Size is small. with walking speed of 25 feet. Can see in dim light within 60 feet of you as if it were bright light, and in darkness within the same range as if it were dim light. Absent even dim light, vision is monochromatic. Hi! Oh, you're back! Oh, wow, you missed Thotons! Oh, you missed... That's okay. Scaries. Like, basically, they're a relative of bed and closet monsters. Who basically exist to scare children into being nicer. Unlike the Thotons, who are the ruling creatures of Horrorland, which is where Manos come from. Scalies are kind of like they live in like nooks and crannies and remain infants until fed sugar by human children. So mortal children. Doesn't have to be human. At first level, your hit point... Ooh, hang on. Proficiency and intimidation skill. Durable. In first level, your hit point maximum increases by 1, increases 1 time each you gain. So you get an extra hit points per level. You can use your action to polymorph into an object or back into your true form. Your statistics are the same in each form, and your object form has features that resemble your true form. For example, if you green fur and transform into a mug, the mug has green fur. You choose whether your equipment, which doesn't change shape with you, falls to the ground in your space, merges into your new form, or is worn by it. The Story Master decides whether the form can wear certain equipment. The equipment the new form can't wear must either fall to the ground or merge with the form. Equipment that merges with the form has no effect until you leave the form. You revert to your true self form if you die. Speak, read, and write common and guttural. The appearance of each scary varies wildly from the rest. You are encouraged to draw your characters so other players can envision them as you do. Even though you can add cosmetic features when depicting your character, such as wings, claws, or extra arms, these features have no function in the game. Of course, you can work with your Story Master to have these features emulate traits from other races in the book. Oh, also... so at the center of the Sinner Sea in the Empire, the Clot Islands. Ah, yes. Yeah, no, I do have VODs that, are set up, and I do try to put them up onto YouTube when I get a chance. But, yeah. Oh, but what I wanted to do was, because Thotten are, like... They have intense lore, but what I wanted to check was something a little... Because the invaders... They actually, so the invaders, fun story, are actually from the planet of Esteros. They actually have info about which planet the invaders are from, which, then brings up other questions, because it was destroyed, which means that they, Ow. So they have a few colonies on Genesis, but the question is whether they have colonies on other planets in the system, and why, if there were other smaller ships that went to other places besides Genesis and might be still kicking around. But, squid-like beings who spirals are squid-like, because there was a spiral wizard who, your human host was traumatized by a Thotten. So... Hey, I have way more, like we did in the beginning. Sounds fun. Let's see. Squid-like beings who manifest as vestigial organs inside newborn humans instead of reincarnating. They are psychically linked to their human hosts and grow up with them. When the human dies, the spiral hatches from the corpse. Spirals honor their host by carrying on their legacy while learning to live in a world they've seen only through the eyes of another. They retain the memories of their past lives. In their original form, spirals were not humanoid, but modern spirals who act from corpses of their host have humanoid torsos and heads with the tentacles for arms. The spiral lower body consists of 7 tentacles to support their weight. They have smooth noses with faces and smaller tentacles on their heads to mimic hair. Spirals come in a variety of colors and patterns, but the majority are blue with pink, purple, or blue splotches on their tentacles. They often use original names, but might also take the name of their host. Though alien in appearance, spirals have spent the lifespan of their host in the human world, though without their own agency. They are familiar with the customs of their host culture and might even continue to associate with friends and family of their hosts. After the dinosaurs were destroyed by the meteor, but before humans emerged from the garden, the spirals developed naturally in the oceans of Genesis during the Squid Age. For millennia, they were dormant, the dominant life form on Arcana, while hundreds of civilizations rose and fell. The spirals were reincarnated from the souls of sentient Saurian races, and their own souls were meant to once again reincarnate as humans. However, this process was disrupted at some point after humanity developed, with many spiral souls missing their intended bodies and growing up instead as organs within. Though this is unverified, some gods believe that the being known as Croatoan interfered with the reincarnation process in an attempt to devour the souls. Human host has a mental connection with their spiral organ from birth and learns from their companions' memories of life during the aquatic Squid Age. As the host ages, they gain unique powers from their spiral organ. Many hosts hide this gift as the spirals believe they are being hunted. Ability and score increase. Your wisdom score increases by 2, constitution by 1. Spirals age with their host. When they corpse hatch upon the death of their host, they emerge at the age and mental maturity of that being. They continue to live up to another 80 years. Okay. So if the host dies young, they just are infant. Share alignment with their human host, or at least start out as infants. Unknown. The hosts of spirals keep their existence hidden, unsure of how others would react to their origins. Yeah, but they must find out when they die. You know, if you can only hide it so long, and then you're dead and the spiral hatch, there must be like a history of them hatching. I mean, if they hatch upon death, anyone who witnessed the death sees the hatching too, right? And then knows that there's spiral around. So, unless they go commit suicide somewhere isolated, and even then, they, see the mangled corpse and check the footprints, and then go in to track down the spiral. Anyone with a half-competent investigation squad would know that. After corpse hatching, the spiral grows rapidly to around 6 feet and weighs 110 pounds. Your size is medium. Base walking speed is 20 feet, and a swimming speed of 40 feet. Okay. You can see dim light within 60 feet of you as if it were bright light, and in darkness within the same range as if it were dim light. Absent even dim light, vision is monochromatic. You can breathe air and water. You are a humanoid, but are considered an aberration whenever it is detrimental. Ooh, your tentacles can sting, and so your unarmed strikes can deal 1 bludgeoning damage plus 1d4 poison damage. Your tentacles have light and finesse weapon properties and have proficiency with them. That's kind of cool. You have 9 grasping tentacles, among others, that cannot grasp with equal power and agility, and you can hold a corresponding number of items at the ready. Also, creatures one size larger than you don't automatically succeed on checks to escape your grapple. Although your extra limbs allow you to wield more weapons, they don't allow you to make more attacks than you might while wielding only 2 weapons. So you can still only attack with 2 of them. Speak, read, and write common and aquatic. You can choose one other language in which you have some fluency, depending on the background of your former host. You can choose to play as a variant tentacle species with the following changes. Ceph. You have a humanoid upper torso and octopus for a head. Your lower body is 8 octopus tentacles instead of legs, and your skin is that of an octopus. Ceph have human lifespans. You lack the heritage, aberration, and sting traits, but you have the shoot sap ability from the tree squid race in this book, though you spray ink instead of sap. You have only 8 grasping tentacles. Ceph despise other races and seldom leave their underwater kingdoms, making them rare on land. Ceph are often neutral evil, even toward other Ceph. Octana. You have a humanoid upper torso, and your lower body is 8 octopus tentacles instead of legs. So like a mer octopus. Octana can live several centuries. Instead of the normal spiral ability to score increases, your intelligence and wisdom score increase by 1. You lack heritage, aberration, and sting traits, but you have the shoot sap ability from the tree squid race in the book, though you spray ink instead of sap. You also know the light, minor illusion, and prestidigitation cantrips, along with 1 other cantrips of your choice, intelligence or wisdom. Your choice is the skill casting modifier for these spells, and you need no material components for them. You have only 8 grasping tentacles. Also, you speak, read, and write arcana. Dana are chaotic neutral, though some of the most renowned were chaotic evil. Okay, why don't Arcana get more lore? Like, what's... Are there whole cities? Alright, we're putting this down. Are there whole cities? Okay, that's an important question. And then also, how does... the number of spirals. Because freaking... That's like... That paragraph, like, that's really cool lore. Like, you could do something cool with that. Instead of just throwing it at the end of... I mean, spirals are interesting, don't get me wrong. But, like, freaking... I think Octana deserved more love. Honestly. If the freaking... Like, they're like whole underwater cities, and then you got the Cephs going around doing their thing. Are the Octana and Ceph, like, enemies? That's a question. Okay, there's that. Hang on. When they... Or do they share cities? Or both? Freaking... That could be an interesting one. Okay, hang on. Also, we need to look up tree squid now, because freaking tree squid. Stalker. Oh, so born with the natural hunter. Okay, hang on. We're going back to check tree squid, because freaking tree squid. I mean, we have to look at that, right? No. Angels, Android. Tokyoto, though a province of the Empire, operates like a sovereign nation, more so than other provinces on Arcana. Rejecting the spirit worship and magic of its ancestors, Tokyoto has become the most non-alien, technologically advanced location on Genesis. Oppressive megacorps dictate all facets of its citizens' lives, and Tokyoto is the center for robotics rights movement. Ooh, okay. That's some interesting... Okay, we got some interesting stuff to go through as well. Okay. Alright, it's pushing 11:30. Okay. Let me look at tree squids, because frickin' tree squids. Like, we gotta see what the deal with that is. We got the... Okay, tree squid. Alright. Alright, 414. They may avoid us, and we rarely interact, but it's good to know that they are there, ready to defend the forest if threatened. Human Ranger and Leaf Commander of the Lion races. Alright, we'll go do that. Are sentient cephalopods that evolved out of water to live in forestous regions. Land octopus, basically. We had those as well. They use their tentacles to swing from tree to tree and shoot sap instead of ink. They are known to other forest races, but keep to themselves if able. Aw. Kind of weirdly cute. Tree squids resemble aquatic squids, but can stand upright and move with their tentacles on land and in trees. When standing, they can be between 7 and 8 feet tall, but appear larger or smaller depending on how they position their tentacles. They can look like any one of the species, but always have brown and green coloration for camouflage in wooded regions. Tree squid consider themselves royalty of the forest and often wear fine clothes and jewelry designed for their forms, carrying themselves with regency and authority of elves. Yeah. Okay. They sound like humans when speaking and usually do not show their beaks when doing so. They generally remain upright when moving, though they sometimes crawl along the ground with their tentacles pulling their heads forward. Are proud but private. They see themselves as protectors of the forest, even against other forest races such as elves and Sasquatches. They oppose industrial races such as humans, gnomes, and goblins and furbolgs, but desire to learn about those cultures to create alternative solutions. Tree squids have lived on Arcana since the end of the Squid Age. They are blessed by nature spirits and tasked with protecting the forest to maintain the balance of nature. For ages, tree squid have worked in secret using obscuration magic to hide their settlements. They see themselves as foremost experts on nature and of the dangers presented by other woodland races, such as corruption of high elves or the evil schemes of the Sasquatch Lucifer. Oh, wow. Tree squid were forced to reveal themselves after the start of the Winter Age, a century of frost they covered Arcana following the Blood War. They devoted themselves to keeping forests from dying in the cold by making pacts with otherworldly entities and brokering alliances with higher realms. The tree squid capital is Tanglewood, a vast region of twisted trees near the Dominion border in the Forsaken Lands. A notable tree squid enclave is hidden near the Empire's small border settlement of Townat River, where local children might have discovered their hidden village. Other aquatic creatures live outside the water, such as flying jellyfish swarms. Many cities, even those in drier or warmer climates, struggle with mouse-sized octopi replacing common household pests. Alright. Not all members of the Adventuring Guild were happy about the inclusion of non-humanoid races, such as tree squids. Known as the Old Guard, they opposed the inclusion of adventurers with disabilities, such as those using combat wheelchairs. As older adventurers, mostly humans, dwarves, elves, they felt threatened by change, erroneously believing that would invalidate their own lives and experiences. The Old Guard skirmished with new adventurers in the conflict known as the Guild War. Even though the newer adventurers did not need approval from the Old Guard, though clever problem-solving and impassioned speeches were able to show the resistors the error of their ways, demonstrating an influx of diverse adventurers would help the Adventuring Guild survive long into the future. The Old Guard, who continued to discriminate against new adventurers, had their adventurers' license revoked, even if they had tenure. Wow. Strength score increases by 2, Constitution by 1. Age 12 to 18 months. And live up to 200 years. So they're kind of like kobolds in that regard. Are hostile only to those that desecrate their forest homes. Many are neutral or chaotic neutral. Rare. Tree squids keep to themselves from others, even the forest races such as elves and Sasquatches. 7 to 8 feet and weigh around 161 to 80 pounds. Size is medium. 25 feet, but a climbing speed of 25 feet too, so it evens out. See in dim light within 60 feet of you, so bright light. Darkness within the same range as for dim light. As in even dim light, vision is monochromatic. Strong beak to your unarmed attacks. Unarmed strikes can do 1d6 slashing damage, or because light weapon property and you have proficiency with it. As a ranged attack, you can shoot a strand of sticky sap to a normal range of 30 feet and a maximum range of 60 feet. You have proficiency with this attack. If your sap hits a target up to large size, the target is grappled in its space. The DC is 8 plus your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency modifier to escape. Target grappled 2 more times by one of these sap strands is restrained until it escapes. You have 10 grasping tentacles and you can hold a corresponding number of items at the ready. However, when standing rather than prone, you must use at least 4 of your tentacles to do so. To stand. Also, creatures one size larger than you don't have automatic succeed on checks to escape your grapple. Although your extra limbs allow you to wield more weapons, they don't allow you to make more attacks than you might otherwise, wielding only 2. Speak, read, and write Common and Sylvan. They may also speak, read, and write Elvish. Okay, hang on. The tree squid. The thing about the tree squids, do they have white? I feel like there would be white like have white winter coats kind of deal, where they go white in the winter, like wolves. All right, we question mark. We are learning. The more you read, the more you realize there's so much known that we have to figure this freaking out. Okay. Ooh. Wolf writing prompt. Ooh. Hey, Jorks. Pretty cool. Okay. I really do have to get to bed because it is 11:30. I'm going to sleep on stream. I appreciate you pushing me to stream longer, though, because I always really enjoy streaming and hanging out with you guys. And the Sunday streams are fun. Also, Sig, remember, you have I will do the thing with Maldives before work tomorrow. And also, good morning, Greyhawk, tomorrow morning. I don't know it. I should probably figure out what time I'm doing that. Let me say 9, because 9 o'clock would be a good hour. So we're going to aim for 9 o'clock. I'll post it on the Discord when I'm going live. 9 a.m., sorry. Morning stream. I have to get up and stream first thing in the morning, because good morning, Greyhawk. Alright, good night. Let's see, we could raid. Let's raid. Darling and Little Bones are. Oh, so is Phoenix. All right, we'll raid Darling Creepshow. Let's raid Darling. The dungeons. It's a D&D game. It's a lot of fun. We'll go say hi to Darling. Hello. She's awesome. And I will see you guys later.